Live! You're live! Hello!
Hi. Hello.
You're gonna have to talk louder than that.
Hello!
There you go, you've shook the thing. You might want to take your feet off the thing.
Tell me what to do.
I will be telling you what to do, and the host of this show uses its name every single day. Today we're Pizza Talk, and we will be talking about pizza and Transformers, because I did promise on Twitter that we would have Transformers content in this Transformers based thing on a Transformers channel
For at least 10 minutes.
for at least 10 minutes, and then we'll be talking fish. Gotta clear my throat. We were just talking about Transformers 5 there. Did we all see Transformers 5?
Yes, I believe we all saw it together.
I'm going to put that zing in I did earlier.
Put that
Does
thing in.
anyone really see Transformers 5?
I don't think anyone actually did see Transformers 5. We should before we actually get in, we should say that your name's David, and your name is also David.
Yeah,
It's Craig, David, and David.
David.
Someone is watching.
The new
Good
pop
lord, tell us who you are. Is that you, Andy?
Can you see the comments from there?
I can kind of see them.
Oh no, I can't see the comment.
Oh, I'll put it like this, and then hope
Yeah, the audio is fine. I think the mics,
the mic's somewhere. You can hear us eating. Oh no, they're gone now.
they're gone now. That's
We should probably not get excited every single time there's someone.
Yeah,
That,
that's
it breaks the flow of
that's
that.
very cool.
Both Davids. I'm going to call you Dadvid,
That's fine.
just to keep things clear.
Yep.
I mean, I'm more
That's the way it
comfortable with that
works.
than you call me David.
It feels weird. It feels weird to call you
It
David
does
now.
genuinely feel weird. I don't like it.
After 3 years of calling you Dadvid,
It's-
it feels kind of sick.
yeah, it is. I do agree with you there. Like, I sometimes get a bit weird when Jess doesn't call me that.
I was talking to her before when you were getting together, and I was like, "What are you going?" Like Amber was saying, "What are you going to call David?" And I was like, "Just call him Dadvid." And Jess was like, "No, I can't. I can't do that." And I was like, "But that's his name. That's what I call him." Like, we're going to talk about Transformers 5 because I think that's the last piece of Transformers media that you both saw.
Collectively, it's the last. Yeah.
It's the last. I mean,
yeah, I suppose.
have you seen any other Transformers? Have you been seeing the Bumblebee trailers? Because that's kind of where I'm going with this. I'm going to talk about Transformers 5 and then say, have you seen the Bumblebee
watched-
I
trailers?
haven't seen the
I
Bumblebee
watched you
trailers
play
now.
the PS2 Transformers game.
That was a good time, wasn't it?
Nah.
Lean in a bit more because I'm a wee bit concerned that they won't hear you.
That will be a bit far away.
It will be a wee bit far away.
Oh no.
That was an accident.
Why?
Dadvid is a beast of a man, so if you've got a sensitive disposition and don't want to hear people eating pizza, this is not the podcast for you, I'm sorry.
Well, it's their fault for coming out to Pizza
That
Talk.
It
explains why
is-
we got no viewers.
I suppose.
Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh, can you post the link to this in the most numerous group that our friends will see?
Pubbing it.
Probably public. Don't tell the people what the things
Yeah.
are because they'll search it. I know it's a secret group, but there'll be hackers within the hour. The Kathleen Kennedy, like if we just keep saying Kathleen Kennedy, people will turn up. I don't think Kathleen Kennedy was involved with Transformers 5, but it was so bad that she must have been.
But all
Oh
bad-
no! We're live on the stream.
2 seconds.
Oh god.
All bad things have a good side though, and Transformers 5 did have a couple of good sides.
Did you definitely see Transformers 5?
No, I did. Like, okay, right, the villain reveal part,
The villain reveal
like,
part.
like the
I've
Decepticon jail scene.
The Decepticon jail with Megatron negotiating to get his boys back was from a different film.
Was it?
Well, no, but like, didn't it feel just like completely out of place? Like, because it was so good. Like, it was a great cartoony scene.
But the sheer fact I just believed that was a totally different film there shows how interchangeable they all are.
Oh, absolutely. Like, they are like chop and changey the same film, even though each one of them is like a different shade of horrible.
Tell me the plot of Revenge of the Fallen.
I quite like Revenge of the Fallen, actually. I will defend Revenge of the Fallen. I know it's actively sexist and racist.
Is that the second one?
David, what I'm going to say is, it came out during the summer of 2009.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a magical time for us all. Like, do you not just think of summer when you hear 2009?
No.
Not really.
Really? Well, you're more of a 2006 man, aren't you?
Yeah, that was like my
I don't
peak
remember
summer
anything like pre 2015.
when Coke was black.
I'm getting there with you. I mean, the thing is, I remember things before 2013, but everything after 2013 is like a big mush.
Yeah, I can get that.
Everything's just blended together.
Other good part.
What was the other good part of Transformers 5? Because there was horrific
The
parts in that
chase through
film.
London that was horribly edited.
Was that a good part for you?
Like, no, but like the
Anything that had Anthony Hopkins in it, he was
Anthony Hopkins was the
he
absolute
was
highlight of that
having
film.
an
Like,
amazing time.
He just
See when he
doesn't give
said
a fuck.
dude, like when he like squared up to Marky Mark and was like, "Do you want to see a Transformer, dude?" or whatever.
Like, Anthony Hopkins had to know that he was auditioning for a Michael Bay film, and he was fine with that. Like, he didn't care.
He just needed fag money.
Actors do need their fag money. It's a thing. They need to work, and if they don't, they won't get their fags.
That Sam Witwicky bit.
The Sam Witwicky, like the Shia LaBeouf cameo in Transformers 5, because they made the plot of Transformers 5 based around the Witwickens and that family,
Yep.
and apparently they're like ancient explorers.
Ancient legends.
Yeah, they made that choice knowing that there were 2 films in with Marky Mark. Like, what the hell? Like,
It was clearly like a previous script. Script that they just kind of picked
well,
up.
I hear that your boy Kirkman of Image Comics fame was involved in the writing.
That can explain some of the dialogue and the kind of wackiness of it.
Aye.
That's very much his style.
But like, I feel like he was involved, but also 1,200 other writers.
Well, of course it was.
Because there's like 17 plots on the go. Do you remember the King Arthur stuff in that film? Do you remember that battle at the start of the film? Because at the start of the film, there's like a King Arthur medieval battle that has lens flare in it.
Yeah, it was just like the first half of Gladiator.
I was really annoyed at like the submarine transformer that you never got to see transform.
Yeah, that really irked me as well.
They go, oh, this is a transformer, but then it kind of just never went anywhere.
They were just like, he is a transformer, and they only said that so so the submarine could get undocked, basically, and so that they didn't have to pilot it themselves, so they could have a romantic scene. Because there was a love interest in that film.
Was there? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, the English woman.
Yeah, she was like a professor of history or something, because it was also a national treasure film.
So third and final good part of that film.
Yes, let me know.
When they did a power drop using Ospreys.
Yes.
That was great.
Tactical nuke.
The tactical nuke that happened, though. Do you remember the tactical nuke?
Actually, I do.
The planet Cybertron was coming to Earth, so one of the generals was like, a tactical nuke. And like that just happened next to the characters,
and it was fine.
and no one was upset by that.
I mean, it is a tactical nuke.
I'm with you.
They were,
I feel that.
They were
But I
actually.
feel like that isn't logical.
No, to give you some real life context, there was actually talk of using tactical nukes in Vietnam.
I can believe that
The
of
point
Vietnam.
being that there's such low yield that you can use it locally and it not be like a big deal. I mean, it's still a stupid idea.
It's still a nuke.
But considering a planet was coming at you, what else are you going to do?
That planet coming at you plot was also from the third film, because that's what Leonard Nimoy was trying to do in Transformers 3.
Oh yeah.
Was he was trying to bring planet Cybertron to Earth for some reason. I think it was to get energon or oil
Here's
or
a question.
something.
Whatever happened to...
Leonard Nimoy, he died.
No, not him. I know he died. No, other lad, Bounty Hunter guy. Did he die?
Mm-hmm.
Did he die in the last one?
Mm-hmm. Lockdown was mercilessly executed by Optimus Prime, because that's what happens in every single one of the films except the first one.
Poor Kelsey Grammer.
Kelsey Grammer got shot to death by Optimus Prime.
He didn't get shot to death. He got vaporized into a red mist.
Did he? I feel like he got shot and he went like flying gracefully through the sky before hitting a wall.
Fraser doesn't deserve this.
He kind of did in that film, because he was a horrible... Like, that fourth one was very like Michael Bay Tea Party kind of thing, because it was anti-government but pro-military.
It was weird, but it was like anti-government, but it was like pro the Chinese government. Like I feel like the U.S. government were portrayed very incompetently in that film, whereas the Chinese government had their shit together. Which,
well, that's the Chinese government. They're never going to not have their stuff together in a film where
the Chinese.
Do you remember Pacific Rim 2? That's very Chinese based.
Yeah.
I've got the
Chinese
novelization
production
of that.
companies. Wow.
Yeah, well, the
We should do a dramatic reading on it.
I kind of want to, for the streams, because endless content needs to be made for these things. Transformers 5 was a horrible experience in the cinema. And it's weird, because I kind of like Transformers 4, and I've seen Transformers 4 multiple times outside of the cinema. But you know how we, back in 2011, went to see Transformers 3?
Yes.
I don't know if you remember Transformers 3.
It was very bad.
Do you remember it as one of the worst cinema experiences you've ever had?
Yeah, probably. Like it was
I think of it often.
Sensationally, but like just.
I like
horrendous.
Transformers, and I like bad Michael Bay Transformer films. I had a horrific time watching 3. 3 just didn't end.
It went on forever. Like at least the hour of it was just last hour was just so loud. Like non-stop, but like like empty calorie action scenes. Like
Gritty.
yeah.
They go to Chernobyl at one point. Shia LaBeouf is at his worst in that film.
Yeah.
And I like Shia LaBeouf, but he's just screaming. Like, didn't he have like a breakdown? Isn't that Shia LaBeouf's thing that he genuinely had a breakdown making those films, and they
That's
probably just filmed it in
yeah.
that one.
Also, Free has Deep Wang.
I'm just eating a pizza now. Deep Wang, played by, I forget the actor's name, but the guy from Community.
Yeah, Ken Jeong.
I had not seen Community before I saw that film. Deep Wang is so much worse than you remember because he gets killed by Laserbeak, the like cassette to bird transformer.
Yeah.
Who like chucks him out of office window, and then someone in the office makes a joke about it, like it's a RoboCop film or something, like it's the 80s. I hate that film. It's a testament that I've only seen it like twice.
I saw it at the cinema. That was it. I can't really.
I went back.
remember
I got
much
very
about it.
morbid curiosity for 3 one day, and I think I sat in here and watched it.
Over
I
the
think
course of
two-
like 4 days.
I think
Yeah.
2 is a worse film than 3.
I think no, I like 2. Two's kind of less oppressive compared to 3. You can get through 2.
Is 2 the one where like Sam goes to university?
He does. He goes to
Yeah.
college.
Two is very. You can put it on and it happens, and you don't really remember anything, so it's fine. Whereas
It's very
three-
summery. Like there's a lot of yellow in that film. They go to the desert.
pyramids.
They go to the pyramids, and it's really disappointing because like the first film has that amazing city fight at the end that for its time is an amazing big CGI monster fight, and then 2 has the same thing but in like a desert where there's nothing going on.
So they can do more CGI.
They can do more CGI, but it's all generic, and that was the year the writer's strike happened, so they didn't have a plot to begin with.
Yeah.
You know what's quite interesting, especially think about it, right? So, Transformers is probably held up as the most mass-produced kind of entertainment you can think of.
Well,
Well, let me get to my point.
I'll let you do your
So,
point.
Most kind of mass-produced entertainment you can think of, very bland, very cookie-cutter, comes out the factory, designed by committee. They're on 5 films in how many years? 10?
11.
11?
Mhm.
So, averaging like...
Basically 10.
Basically 10.
So basically one every 2 years.
No,
Whereas,
but no, it was one every 3 years and then a gap. It was like 2011 and then 2014.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
2007, there was every 2 years at first, then there was a 3-year gap, and then there was a 3-year. So they're, I guess they're on a 3-year cycle. Like,
Well, Bumblebee's out this
yeah.
year.
So anyway, they've done that, and they've not made anything of any artistic merit whatsoever, except maybe for a little bit.
There's something to be said for the extreme America pandering in one scene of like Marky Mark standing on a porch in Texas with the American flag and stars behind him, and then the next scene being like China getting stuff done.
Yeah.
That is something, if not art.
Something.
It's something. It definitely is something.
But, and this may be a slight fanboyism coming out,
Go for it.
Marvel can pump out a film every 6 months
Mhm.
of enjoyable quality.
It's probably something to be said about Marvel in that, like, Marvel exists and has put out 20 films in the last 10 years, and still people bring up Transformers as like, oh, it's just a big dumb Transformers-y film. Like, I feel like it was Mark Kermode again, like, criticizing something and using Transformers as a stick to beat it with. And, like, is that relevant anymore? Like,
No, but I think it's like, it was testament to, like, how.
I still remember Iron Man 1 coming out and Mark Kermode reviewing it, and he, like, someone, it might have been Essler, I don't know if it was at the time, but someone was saying, isn't this like another Transformers? And, like, Mark Kermode being like, no, actually, this film had a lot of character. It wasn't a Transformers film. Like, he was talking about it, like there's this whole thing where, like, these films are universally known as horrific things, but, like, there's only 5 of them. Like, the sheer girth of other
It
content.
feels like that. That's the thing. It feels like there's so much of it everywhere, but there's not. I think it's just because so many Transformers-esque films have now came out. So you
Oh, aye.
I mean,
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
it? I mean, is there ever going to be a third
I feel like
TMNT?
just, I feel like just the look. I feel like just the look of Transformers is insanely.
Generic.
Well,
It's
no influential. 'Cause,
Oh, like, I have a
all films
huge
look like-
and very
like the
controversial
sh-
point
like
about
the
that.
CG, like all like the orange and blue.
Oh,
like,
the orange. Every one of the first 3 DVDs looks the same because
Yeah.
it's Shia LaBeouf and Optimus Prime against an orange and blue backdrop.
I mean, you could sit and list off films that you could mistake for Transformers films on a bad day. Like Battleship, the first two Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle films. I mean, there's another one there somewhere that I just
Pacific
want to
Rim
see.
2.
Pacific Rim.
We'll defend it.
No, I
God.
You could see
G.I.
it.
Joe.
G.I. Joe.
yeah,
G.I. Joe
that's
1 is really good though. Like, and I would defend 2. It has The Rock in it.
I never saw it.
You should see 2. 2's a time. The Destro, you know, Christopher Eccleston
Yeah.
is in that film, but I don't think it's Christopher Eccleston playing him at all. They break out the villains, and then they're like, "Oh, not this time, Destro," and just leave. I have a huge, I have a point about Transformers 1. That city fight at the end is just the city fight at the end of Avengers. I would say that the city fight at the end of Avengers 1 is a lot better of a scene and a lot better of a thing, but like structurally, it's just that Transformers fight. And when I saw Avengers 1, I was deeply disappointed because of that. Because it had been like 4 years since that scene had been seen.
Well, I can kind of give you that. I mean, I still will never understand your apathy towards the Avengers film. Considering you like Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron.
You don't like Age of Ultron.
I like, see when you're watching Age of Ultron, see when you're in the process of watching Age of Ultron, it's good. It's a good time. Yeah, there's lots to enjoy.
I mean, I would
But
never
see-
say Age of Ultron's a bad
I
film.
can get that. It's just in
But
the
see when
context.
the immediate like second Age of Ultron finishes, you completely forget about it, and then you have a very bad opinion of it because like, oh yeah, that was terrible.
Because it's just what gets me about Age of Ultron is the sheer amount of hype that they
Mm.
had built, and it's just nothing. Like it has nothing to say. It doesn't develop the plot.
Mm.
It's very much a middle child film. And it's a massive waste of Ultron.
I guess it
and James
introduces
Spader.
some important characters like Scarlet Witch, but
Well, I mean, she's obviously going to be really important in the next Avengers.
I know, yeah.
I don't know. It was a
Vision.
good time. They wanted to do like a kind of sad middle chapter, like a Empire Strikes Back kind of thing, but at the same time they couldn't have them lose. So
They couldn't lose anyone important either,
Mhm.
so they had to lose Quicksilver,
yeah.
who I feel could have solved the plot of Infinity War if he was alive.
Well,
Oh my god, they're going back in time, they can bring him back!
yeah. I mean, spoilers. Well, I probably shouldn't say spoilers because it's like set picks, but there's probably some set picks we can talk about after this.
I've never seen any of them.
No.
Funnily enough, I managed to go into Infinity War knowing nothing about it, which I really liked.
I don't watch trailers like trailers.
Oh, I watched the trailers religiously, but they very smartly put like false scenes in there.
They did. They had that scene where everybody was running towards camera,
Oh,
and
yeah.
like that wasn't in that
The
film.
Hulk was
The Hulk,
there.
yeah.
Although to be fair, that's probably that could be like a clever, bluff, and they have that in the next
They
film.
did that with Ant-Man 1 as well, because
Did they?
And they spoiled the Thomas the Tank in
Yeah.
in the trailer, and it was Ant-Man who was being run over, whereas in the
It was
the film
Yellow
the
Jacket.
villain.
The villain, Yellow Jacket.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't know that about Ant-Man. I don't really
Yeah.
remember much around Ant-Man and it coming out.
I guess I'm just like the sheer like I know it's dumb, but like because that's what trailers are for. But I feel like trailers have been ruined by like
Did you?
marketing
Well,
and like the internet.
you put me onto a concept of like a classic style old trailer that shows you the entire film.
Yeah,
And
I don't
you-
like those either.
You usually don't get them anymore. Was the
No,
point.
you don't. There's
I saw-
still
do you
a
see
few.
the-
Was there one recently?
There was the Oliver and Hardy film that's coming out. Don't know if you've seen the trailer for it, but it's Partridge. It's Steve Coogan playing Oliver, Laurel,
Yeah.
Sam Laurel, and the trailer is basically the film because it shows the setup of what the scenario is, and then it shows the conflict, and then like you wouldn't think they'd show the resolution to that conflict in the trailer, but they do.
Fair play.
It looks great, but I was just watching the trailer being like, I don't really need to see the film now.
Well, I think it's usually separate companies. that make
Oh
the
no!
Yeah.
I'll tell you. I know what the one recently was. It was for the what do you call it? It was the teen movie.
The outing a gay
Yeah.
character in
Yeah, but
high
it was
school.
I was really real see it. I feel like I saw the trailer and it was like I know everything that happens in this film.
Mm.
Like I felt like the plot in chronological order.
Yeah.
Which you don't get a lot of trailers like that. Well, that's what I suppose like that's what
I didn't know that it was a different production company or a separate thing that did trailers for films until Suicide Squad, because the Suicide Squad production company that did the trailer was brought in to recut the film.
Oh, that's how you know your film was bad.
That's how you know your film is bad.
Like, because a lot of people like, because I remember, like trailers generally don't use the music from the film. They just use like generic.
Sound of the moment, kind of.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know
The
why they have, like, different
2009 trailer for Star Trek.
That's what I was going to bring up. This,
Yeah.
it had its own soundtrack. That trailer also had a fantastic soundtrack,
Mm.
and then the film also had it. But like that, if we're talking about perfect trailers, that trailer for the 2009 Star Trek is like the best trailer ever made.
I
Like-
can't remember any of it, but also I feel like I know it. Like
Yeah,
like it's lodged in there somewhere.
enlisting Starfleet. You see the
Yeah, see
Enterprise being built,
On Earth, which a lot of
Fire.
nerds at the time were very...
fire everything.
Fire everything is an incredible line. I feel like it doesn't come off as well in the actual film than it does in the trailer.
You're probably right.
Because like the
actually.
fire
This
everything
the
is just
cut of-
against Spock.
It's
these
just
little-
the cut of because like
Yeah.
the trailer was building, like, fire everything, and then you see like the ship going sideways.
Has
and all
Eric
that.
Bana been in anything?
No,
in the
I feel
last
his
10
career
years?
I feel like his career didn't go anywhere after
Well,
playing
I-
Nero.
I saw a BBC Two thing once where he was doing cars in Australia. He's like a big car man.
I can believe that. Australians like their cars.
Yeah, Mad Max famously. There's some garlic and herb dip on the device now.
It's fine.
Did you not like your dip?
No, I don't like
You're
that.
game.
I'm gonna fire into your dip.
I'm again the dip.
You gain the dip.
Gain the dip.
We should probably talk about the pizzas we had.
Yeah,
I had a tandoori. Was it a tandoori red hot?
tandoori hot.
No, it was a red hot tandoori.
A red hot
I think
tandoori.
it's tandoori hot. Another
I
menu.
like it. It's not too hot, which can be a problem.
Yeah.
There's like two peppers on the menu.
The jalapenos add like a tanginess
Mhm.
to it. It's really good. It was nice. I enjoyed my slice of it.
I feel like I could live off jalapenos. I feel like I've reached that stage.
You might lack in protein.
What can I just eat beans? Because like post Brexit, can I just have jalapenos and beans?
but probably.
Well, no, because you can't afford to import jalapenos.
Well, jalapenos would be my decadence that like I keep my like mine of slaves working away at.
You should start
Jalapeno
panic
wings.
buying
Yeah.
jalapenos.
Panic ballot. Can I like preserve them, or
Well,
aren't they
they're in a
already
jar,
technically
so they are
preserved?
I mean, the millennials will already be stockpiling avocados.
Mm.
Oh no.
I had avocado and toast for the first time the other day.
It's good, isn't it?
Disgusting.
What? I
I've
really like
never had
avocado.
it. I've never
Like,
had it, but
mm.
I don't really get the appeal. I
Mm.
kind of don't like avocados. Like maybe it's something
Mm.
I could like because I feel like there's been a lot of things where I just assume that I don't like it. Like for example, Domino's example, I never liked the garlic and herb dip for
I love
like
it.
for years. I just
This is my
assumed,
first time
like,
trying it.
My brain was like, I'm not gonna like this. I feel like I tried it once and I didn't like it, and then for like a decade, my brain was just like, you're not eating that dip. You don't like that dip. You don't
Mm.
do that dip. But then one time I'm like, David, why do you think this? And then I actually tried it and I'm like, this is quite nice.
You'd be missing out on it. That's kind of me with all foods for the last 20 years, to be fair.
Yeah, I broke that cycle hard.
Mm.
I just spiced everything.
I'm well into spices now.
Like all it took was like the first time I cooked them dinner, I just put Moroccan spices.
Oh,
on everything.
Moroccan.
And he was like, "You solved the problem of vegetables, just aggressively spicing roasted veg."
I do want spiced veg now. Like I've just had an entire pizza, but I could go that.
It's like every
It's
time I cook
Moroccan.
something, you try and like,
It's
oh,
Moroccan.
every day, this every day.
Mm. Mm.
Like when you were mad for Scotch eggs.
Mhm. Had some today.
Like when I first moved here and he was coming around, all he ate was iron brew
Mhm.
and plain bread.
I've changed.
He's
Plain
come
bread.
so far. I'm so proud of
I
him.
had a fisherman's pie today.
He's went from 95% carbs.
Was that the ghetto one from
Yeah.
Iceland? How was that?
It was of a low quality, and I
Nice.
loved it.
Great. How much fish did it have?
An unknown amount of fish. It was mostly a kind of mashed paste.
Yeah, and like was it just sort of like mashed bits of fish?
It was.
And,
It's odd
mashed?
because if
It was
you-
bubbling because it defrosted overnight because I forgot to put it in the freezer, and then I microwaved it for 10 minutes, and then I had to put it on a plate because I didn't have any dishes left at the time, any like bowls. So that was a good lunch. That was a good lunch
well,
I had.
you don't necessarily eat fish pie out of a bowl anyway.
I mean, it makes it easier, I would say, because it was a small plate. I should probably say it was a very small plate.
Ah.
Yeah. I
One
was in a
thing weird about
rush.
fish pies is the onions in them go blue.
Do they?
Yeah,
Hmm.
at least in the one fish pie I made and the one that I saw in Morrison's the other week.
That seems worrying.
So, based on those two examples alone, I'm going to say all fish pies ever have blue onions.
Blunions.
Blunions.
You could go a blunion.
Bludgeons. There you go.
I went I wanted to talk about Transformers because I promised people on Twitter that I would talk about
We
Transformers.
did.
And we
We've
did.
done it.
Bumblebee is coming out this year.
Oh no.
Will you come to see Bumblebee
Yes,
with
can
you?
we stop I don't know anything about it. I don't really want to
But
know
like,
anything
you know,
about
do you
it.
know that it's not Michael Bay is not involved?
I've heard that.
Does that not fill you with at least apathy at best?
It fills me with the thought that they're making a different kind of cash grab now because they're doing the Disney Star Wars route
Mhm.
of let's have a in-betweeny film.
Yeah. Well,
Let's
That'll
have a
mean it'll
spin-off.
almost definitely flop.
well, yes and no because it's an in-betweeny film, but I feel like Michael Bay was going to do 6
Also, it's
before.
coming out in like December.
It's the Christmas film, and I say that about a lot of films now because I think
It doesn't
Aquaman
feel- it
is
doesn't
the
feel
Christmas
like
film.
Like this is a lacking year for the if it's Bumblebee and not like a Star Wars.
Well, I mean, we've had our Star Wars.
We've had there was a Star Wars
Yeah.
film this year.
yeah, it will actually be a nice break to not have a Star Wars film at Christmas.
I know.
We've only had 2.
No, it's
No,
been 4.
there were 3.
Well, yeah, 3.
2015, 16, and 17 all had a Star Wars film come out the week before Christmas.
Yeah, I was enjoying that wee kind of Pizza Express Wars.
Yeah.
We're still gonna do Pizza Expressmas. We're gonna do the family tradition of going to Pizza Express and then see a film. This year it might be Bumblebee.
Well, it might not be, but we might have to.
There must be something else.
No,
there
that-
will be someone else.
There is.
We may have to override.
Well, it's Bumblebee. Here's the choices: Bumblebee. I think Aquaman. Aquaman is happening.
You're not filling me with like excitement here.
Jason Momoa will make you see Aquaman.
I mean, I'll go for Jason Momoa, but nothing else.
What about Willem Dafoe?
Is
Oh.
Willem Dafoe an
Well,
Aquaman?
Willem Dafoe is. Do you remember that character in what's his name? Gough Johns' Aquaman run from the New 52, who was like a guy. It was a bald man who like was Aquaman's friend, but throughout the run he kind of betrayed him and then went to jail. He's that character.
Nice.
He's that C-list of a character in an
I
Aquaman
definitely want to see
film.
it now. Like,
I
I
will
want
go
to
for
see
Willem
every
Dafoe.
film with Willem Dafoe.
There was
Like,
reports out of Aquaman saying that Willem Dafoe rides a shark.
oh my god.
Right. Okay. So we're seeing Aquaman.
Yep.
Aquaman.
That's
I've
decided.
turned you around on Aquaman.
I mean, you haven't. You've turned me around on Willem. No,
You-
you just confirmed Willem Dafoe. That's all you need to do.
Oh, let's put it this way. I'd rather give my money to Willem Dafoe than whoever's involved in Bumblebee.
Bumblebee looks good. Like it looks like a cute. It looks like the Iron Giant, but with Bumblebee.
Willem
more
Set in
Dafoe.
80s.
Willem Dafoe. In
Well-
my view, his best performance was in Mr.
Bean,
Bean's
the moon.
Holiday.
Yeah, Mr. Bean's Holiday.
It's incredible.
That should be his highlight reel. Like if you're trying to like advertise Willem Dafoe, it's like, have you seen his entire work in Mr. Bean's Holiday?
Like, you
have you
get-
seen Mr. Bean's Holiday, David?
Yes, you've asked me this a million times.
How many times have you seen Mr. Bean's Holiday? More than once?
Twice.
Oh, that's something that you should probably
All I
fix.
remember is the part where the laxative, and that's how.
No,
it's-
that's
that's
Mr.
not-
Bean's
that's
mo-
Mr.
Oh
Bean's
my
movie.
god.
Oh well, I still have seen Mr. Bean's Holiday.
What happens to Mr. Bean's Holiday then?
He gets drunk and he sings with that guy.
No, that's not. That is.
That's you're talking about the first
about
film?
Bean 97, the
Wait,
ultimate disaster
Wait,
movie.
does he go on holiday in both of them?
Yes.
Yes.
That's probably what's confusing about that.
I mean,
but
he doesn't actually go on. He goes for work.
Ah.
He goes on gardening leave in the ultimate disaster movie because they want to get rid of him from his job.
Well, I can't say I've
Setting-
seen.
Peter Capaldi sends him to
Peter
America.
Capaldi sends him to America. Or he very much does.
90s slicked back hair, young Peter Capaldi.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, then I can't say I've seen. Mr.
You've
Bean's
not
Holiday.
seen Mr. Bean's Holiday?
I mean, I probably
It's-
have.
Oh my god.
Imagine like they made like Mr. Bean into like an art house like French like cinema piece.
It's already
That's what
kind of
that
there.
film is. Like it's incredible. Like
There's a scene in
it's
that
much
film.
more like a traditional Mr. Bean
Yeah.
sketch. Just extended to like
It's very French.
Very little
Very
dialogue,
French.
basically.
It's very 2006.
yep.
Was it 2006 it came out, or was it 2000?
2007, but it would have been filmed in
Yeah,
60s,
it's very yellow. Like there's just these endless yellow
It's
fields of
gorgeous.
France.
Like it's filmed like it's filmed like a forget. It looks like
isn't the plot Mr. Bean wins a trip to France?
Mr. Bean wins a trip to France.
And like the start of the film is like in
To
Britain,
to
and it's like in a
Nice,
church,
Cannes.
and like it's just like
Chucking
grey
it down the
rain,
yeah.
and then like it's so good, like it looks amazing.
And he wins the raffle after a minor kerfuffle.
A kerfuffle, like, and then he
and
goes,
then he gets on the Eurostar, and then it just falls from there.
and it's just, like Willem Dafoe is in the film, and he plays Willem Dafoe, who's like he meets him at because Willem Dafoe is filming a yogurt commercial that involves the SS.
Well, no, it's
And,
the whole plot interacts because like Mr. Bean is trying to get to Nice/Cannes because that's where the holiday is, and then all the other characters are also trying to get to like
The Cannes
'cause
Film
there's the
Festival.
Cannes Film Festival. There's the actress who Bean picks up, and then there's the kid who he ends up like the Russian
They
kid
kind
who
of
he ends up
abduct a
with.
child.
Yeah, that's a classic Mr. Bean plot point.
Yeah.
Um,
Was he a Russian child?
Russian, I
Yeah.
believe, yeah. And then they're all trying to get to Cannes. And then also Willem Dafoe, the film director.
Willem Dafoe.
Carson Clay, I think his name
Carson
is.
Clay. Does he actually? I always thought he was just playing Willem Dafoe.
I
Like,
mean,
Willem
yeah.
Dafoe's directorial debut is like this yogurt commercial, and also this film that he like puts on, and it's the best Willem Dafoe performance in any piece of like you know how he's incredible as the Green Goblin, and that's what you think of him as because
Yeah.
he's Willem Dafoe. Nothing compared to Willem Dafoe
But
in
then
the
they
Mr.
do
Bean
something
movie.
incredible because he's a film director. They make a film within a film.
Yeah,
And the whole like third act like sort of set piece at the end is like getting the actress to see the premiere of her film that she's in for like a second.
we need to watch Mr. Bean's
It's-
Holiday.
I'm feeling quite attacked right now. 'cause
You
you're
should.
Kind, you're kind of both slowly leaning in closer when
Mhm.
we talk about this.
It might
Direct
be on
eye
Netflix.
contact.
Like as soon as
It
this,
definitely is on Netflix.
as soon as this podcast is over.
If I may direct back to Willem Dafoe for a second,
Yeah.
I still maintain with all my heart that he should be in the live-action Aladdin film as either Jafar
Mhm.
or Iago.
Iago. Yeah. I think that we talked about this before,
We
and
did.
my choice for
Alright,
Jafar
right,
would
Dream-
be
right, Dreamcast. Right, okay,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna give you right. Let's take three guys and Dreamcast them. Right,
Dreamcasting.
right. Willem Dafoe,
Mm-hmm.
Dreamcast his role. Who else can we do?
I don't know.
Let's
Eric Roberts. We were talking about him yesterday.
Eric Roberts. Yep, there we go. That's a good one. And let's take a third one.
A third actor that we love that's probably a man.
All right, let's think of someone else. Who
I
else?
don't know. It's hard to think of things on the spot, isn't it? When
It
you're
is. Let's think of
who
someone
do we just like love with a fiery passion?
who deserves to be like Dreamcasted and something like who. Ben Kingsley. That's who we
Ben
always talk-
Kingsley.
That's who we always talk about. Right.
We're really orbiting around an evil vizier character here. Like, do you know how Ben Kingsley played the evil vizier in the Prince of Persia movie?
Yeah.
Like, that's a career-defining moment. That and his appearance as the Hood in the Thunderbirds film. Like, he was the villain.
He was also.
Have you seen the Thunderbirds film?
No,
it's really good.
I don't want to see the Thunderbirds.
There's a
film.
great moment. You know how, like, in
Is this the
Thunderbirds...
one of Busted?
This is the one with Busted. One of the people from Busted is a Thunderbird. He's like the young kid Thunderbird, and like the Busted do the theme song
Yep,
for
Thunderbirds
Thunderbirds.
are good.
Thunderbirds. That was a good song. Like that was a good time.
Speaking of Busted, are they still gone? Like
They
when
got
fly?
back together.
Didn't they fuse
No,
with
There-
Mick Busted?
Yes, there was Mick Busted.
Let's keep talking because I'm gonna.
What is Mick Busted?
Well,
it's a super group.
it was a super group formed of McFly and Busted, but without Charlie from Busted, because he was still in his, oh, I'm not doing Busted phase, I'm in Fight Star, I'm going to be a proper rock star. Nah. And then I guess he ran out of money because he rejoined Busted.
So does that
So
mean,
now the proper Busted are
so
back
does that mean
together.
they just tour together, or does like the actual band membership each band
No,
like combine to play,
like
play each other's
Busted,
songs?
like there is no McBusted anymore. It's just Busted.
Ah.
And McFly. I'm not sure McFly are together, but Busted are.
I'll only bring this up so I can segue into the fact that the Venga Boys are still touring and are currently organising a tour with Steps.
Yes, I saw. Didn't the Venga Boys come to our town?
I feel like
Didn't-
yeah,
they came to the
actually
UK.
did. They
Yeah,
came
they
to
were
our town.
Freshers.
Yeah.
It was Freshers or Dusk or Fubar or something. One of those three things. That's the only three things they could have been
What?
at.
3 things
Oh,
one
dear.
night.
That was great.
Yeah, I would love to live that life of like a 20-year-old, 22 decades into your like pop group.
You're doing the
Just
nightclub
doing-
circuit.
Well, the nightclubs and the uni circuits,
Yeah.
because like that
Just
ironic
think-
love.
Just think, there's going to be folk just turned 18, gone out to the club for the first time. Venga Boys come on, they're like, I've never heard these guys. These
And,
folk are brilliant.
yeah, these people like I feel like it's too we're like because these people would have all been born after. They honestly will not know who they are.
How old were we when Venga Boys was a thing? Primary school
7
still.
probably.
Primary school, like 6, 7, 8
But
kind of time.
We're all collectively nearly 30 now.
Yeah, we're reaching the big 3-0. I'm looking forward to it. I'm getting grey hairs now. Pretty excited.
Oh, no.
Tentatively. That's in here. Yeah. You can't see because it's an audio podcast, but
Become a silver
He
fox
doesn't
like
have
a gallon.
I really want to be a silver fox. Not in the vein of Gallon, but more in the line of Father Ted. We should probably talk about Linehan at some point. Linehan's just out there destroying himself.
It's not going
I
well
watched,
for Linehan.
I watched the IT crowd the
What?
other day, and it felt like an illicit behaviour. Like I felt like I was sinning.
Like, you feel bad now.
I
like,
did feel bad.
I really hope that, like, I think, like,
Can we provide context for us who don't know?
Do you know
Linehan
who
is
Linehan is?
mad,
Yeah,
mad against transgender people. Like, just aggressively. Like, it's his entire Twitter persona. Like, it's all he does. Like, the man stays up for like 22 hours a day staying on Twitter just to be offensive to transgender people. Like,
It's
not-
a damn shame.
it's not even like it's just a thing that like he goes out of his way to do
Mhm.
it.
That's really funny because generally comedy writers are very inclusive.
Well, I think it's
And
like
it
a.
went-
I think it's a thing because he was seen as kind of a liberally, kind of
Yeah.
left-leaning
He was like, if you
thing
joined
in the 90s.
If you joined Twitter in 2008/9, he was one of the person that you followed along with Stephen Fry. They've both not had a great couple of years on
Is
Twitter.
Stephen Fry having a bad time?
I don't know. I feel like there's some reason why
He's always
Stephen-
having some mad time like running off to like I don't
Going
know,
to France, eating
running to-
chips with mayo.
run
like-
into Brussels when his shoes on.
that was literally super hands though. Didn't he run to? Did he run to Carlisle?
Superhand run Windsor.
Windsor, yeah. But there's that incredible.
Windsor.
Yeah, I do think that Stephen Fry is in like a constant state of something happening. But Linehan, who in the back of my mind was one of those the cool guys, like he made Father Ted, he made the IT crowd. I watched it recently. It's not aging that well.
Yeah.
But I suppose the warning signs were there because Linehan has just been making your da BBC One sitcoms for several years now. Like, do you know that he's made stuff?
Vaguely, I feel like I saw one of them for like
I'm
5
not saying
minutes.
they're
I
like
can't remember a single thing about it.
yeah, but it was like a standard. I say inoffensive, but who knows at this point? Inoffensive BBC One
It didn't
tea
feel
time
anything
sitcom.
like a Graham Linehan sitcom.
No,
like,
not at all.
whatsoever. It felt like just generic.
Like
I
a
can't
safe.
remember a single thing about it.
Yeah, it was about a guy and things happened and there was jokes.
That sounds like a sitcom.
Yeah, but like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like
Do
it's
you remember when we watched that thing with David Mitchell playing Shakespeare? That was great.
aye
That was,
thingy.
that was like proper Ben Elton comedy.
That was a Bell Elton
Aye.
comedy.
With all the like the tongue twisting, you know, very.
It felt like it wanted to be Blackadder.
It felt
like a hell of a lot.
I like Ben Elton a little bit because I feel like he wants to.
I
like,
don't know. I do. He
No,
seems
it's-
like one of those '80s people. I want to say a Tory, but maybe that's
Well,
not right.
I
but
only like him because he really he clearly owns a thesaurus and he really wants you to know that he does.
Hmm. Yeah, it's very wordy.
Yeah.
Very like it was nothing. I really laughed at a lot of scenes in what was something Crow, Upstart Crow. Is that what
Something
it
like
was?
that.
Something like that.
Something smart that we'll
Yeah.
get because fuck Shakespeare. Like,
Well,
who
we're
reads that?
Scottish, so do we have any context for Shakespeare? Were we forced to read Shakespeare? Because I don't think we were. Because that's an English thing. It's like, oh, we grew up, we had to like do Shakespeare plays. I don't remember ever
It's
doing
Is
Shakespeare
Macbeth
plays.
Shakespeare?
Yes.
I read Macbeth. That's based in
Was
Scotland.
Macbeth a good time? What's your review of Macbeth?
I'm thinking of Hamlet for some
You're
reason.
thinking of Hamlet.
I'm thinking of Hamlet for
Easily done.
I was about to say, isn't Macbeth Danish, but that's Hamlet. Because
Mm.
Macbeth is a very Scotch name.
There's a character in Xenoblade right now called Macneth, and things happened with Macneth. And there's you know how there's a Scotland in Xenoblade.
I know,
Oh,
Walesland.
There's a Walesland. Moradin gets a lot of love in the background, the world building, because they someone on the team knows that Scotland has terrible, terrible food.
Oh, you're low battery.
Don't you worry, low battery man.
We've not got a single viewer yet.
I know. Did you like notify people, David?
I did.
Somebody message Andrew.
Aye, let them know. Get them on. Get them on side.
Or what about Jess and Amber?
Well, I think Jess and Amber are having a good time without us. I think this is what
No,
it is.
no,
No,
no.
No.
They need to support us.
you won't accept that. You won't accept that they're having their own personal time right now.
No. Did
Okay.
you not hear me say no?
No, I was too busy trying to make sure the power didn't cut out.
Oh.
What were we
Anyway,
talking about? Macbeth?
Macbeth. So,
Yeah.
I read
Macbeth.
Macbeth in high school and it was alright.
Is
I
that the
mean-
one where everyone dies?
I mean, they die in a lot of the
Yeah.
things. No, Macbeth is the one where
Scotland.
The guy is like a sergeant in the army, and like
Didn't know that.
somebody dies, and he gets promoted, and then his wife keeps like convincing him to kill more people, and
Hmm.
he does that, and he's like. His wife goes a bit mad, and she's like washing her hands, going, "Oh, it never comes off! It never comes off! Oh, the blood!" Aye, so that was alright. And there's witches or something.
It's witches. Aye, there's like 3 witches. That's the whole thing, isn't it?
There's always 3 witches.
Like a coven.
There's never one. There's always 3. Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunter, by the way, great film.
Is that the one with Jeremy Renner? Yeah, I didn't know that, but when you spoke about it, I knew that Jeremy Renner was going to be involved.
Yeah.
When is Jeremy Renner making his triumphant return to Marvel films?
Well, did you not send
Like,
you that
was he-
meme? Did I not
was
send
he-
you that meme
was
where
he one of the 50%?
he was he?
We don't know.
We know for a fact that Jeremy Renner cannot be killed. We've talked about this. Jeremy Renner, like the click, Thanos wiped out half the universe, and Jeremy Renner would have been in that 50%, but his Jeremy Renner DNA, his genes, just prevented him from being removed. Like you know how in Age of Ultron they set him up to die.
Yep.
They gave him a family and a loving backstory and a farm.
He's
like,
still at that farm.
He's still-
He
he's
just
just-
farm
At
in
this
the
point,
land.
it's just seeing how
He's
far
living-
will the
he's-
joke go.
He's living an agrarian
No,
lifestyle.
but clearly what's happened is that his family's obviously been like dusted away, and he'll just turn up at the last
Yeah.
minute and go, "Right, see you, Thanos. See you. I'm the only purple bastard in
No, but
here."
statistically, like at least 50% or around 50% of his family will be snapped.
Mm. I mean, you say that, but most of his family will have his genes as well. Like the Jeremy Renner genes won't let them die. Like his lineage will continue until the heat death of the universe.
So they
Or-
have DNA that can withstand the cosmic snap.
It's
of
Jeremy
Thanos.
Renner's wrinkly face has been imbued into his children. Like they will grow up to be perfect copies of Jeremy Renner. Like he
And-
produces via budding.
I got really confused for a minute there because when he posted that picture of like, "Oh, good to be back," and all
Yeah.
that, I thought that was Lemmy for the longest time. I thought he got a haircut and I was really confused because he was doing the Lemmy face.
He was doing the Lemmy face.
Aye.
Yeah, he posted a picture and it was like good to be back and he was like wearing the Hawkeye costume. And the meme I saw was Thanos, but it was that scene where Homer backs back into the bushes and like just disappears.
Oh, there's a plane.
At night.
It's a little
Plane
flying.
watch. Oh yeah.
Maybe a heli.
It looks like a heli, I think. Heli's a good word. This must be riveting content for our
I
zero
probably shouldn't
listeners.
have
It's
interrupted.
just in the whole Infinity War saga that's happened so far, he's the only person that's not had screen time.
Yes.
Even Maria Hill's had screen time.
I like Maria Hill in the films. I hated her in the comics. It's one of those kind of. Did you ever see Maria Hill in the comics? She was like
She's a bit
replaced.
of I mean, she was treated like shit by Captain America.
Well, she tried to arrest Captain America before any of the things went down. Before the bill.
Well, aye, because they knew. No, they told him like you're gonna have to comply with this. You
Yeah,
can't
and he
march,
was
you-
like, "That's not a law yet. This is like a preemptive Bush attack."
Well, no.
that's what the tone was
that
in
was
that
the
scene.
tone, but,
And he was like, "No, I'm America. Like,
I'm gonna
this
like.
isn't gonna happen, son."
Then he takes a pilot out for burgers and chips. Which
He does.
Is really nice.
I see. I like that, but it was written by Mark Miller, and I hate Mark Miller. Sorry, Mark Miller, if you're listening.
Millar.
Millar.
Mel R.
Everyone calls you Mark Millar for some reason.
Mark, is it to differentiate him from Frank Miller?
Do you think he perpetuates that himself? That
Probably.
it's- that
He's
it's
out
Millar?
there. He's not doing anything else other than writing a billion comics.
There's no other Scotsman in the world goes by the name Millar. And
Millar.
If you're perpetuating that, Mark, you should be really ashamed of yourself.
You were telling me that Mark Millar's religious, and I
I'm
was just
pretty
like,
sure he is.
I don't
yeah.
find that believable at all.
I find it deeply believable, like a
What?
deep-held
What, is he
faith.
really into the sash? And he goes out and drumming and all of that.
I think he's Catholic.
What? No.
I'm pretty sure
Mark-
he's
is it-
Catholic.
What, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that about
Mark
him until
Millar.
this year, and until you mentioned that he'd like sponsored that Comic-Con at a church, or made people go to a church to get to a Comic-Con. Like he did something like that, didn't he?
It was
Famous
The
scumbag, Mark
subsidized
Millar.
ticket, like you could buy limited tickets online, but because it was a Mark Miller con, like he got a very good lineup to
Yeah.
go at that con. So obviously, but I guess he wanted to do it for the community. So he
That's
put-
good,
he
but
sold
also
the
isn't he a
church.
mad Brexiter?
He
like,
sold the churches in one Church of Scotland church and one Catholic church,
that just seems like you're
bridging the
like
divide.
you're bridging the divide by like putting them into
And
direct
bridging the
competition with each
Bridging the
other.
divide in Coat Bridge. Also, to be
Yeah.
fair, Coat Bridge is almost definitely like the most like religiously tense area of Scotland. So
He could probably just invest his millions, though.
you know
the millions that he
well,
has.
so there's a sort of like you never heard like Airdrie and Coat Bridge, right? They're sort
Mhm.
of next to each other.
I
And Airdrie
cannot think of them.
Airdrie has a reputation as a Protestant town. and
Right.
Coatbridge has a reputation as a Catholic town.
That's how
So,
Scotland does it.
Yeah, that's probably the most
like-
obvious
it's like
example of that in Scotland.
Diet Ireland.
Diet Ireland.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not
Sorry
really
for this podcast to get into.
to religious,
To religious
sectarian.
shit, yeah.
It's going to happen eventually.
I mean,
Like
every
civil-
conversation in Scotland does eventually end
We're
up
on the
with,
brew.
sectarian.
2 nights in a row.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, there's nothing but talk about like that at my work all the time.
really,
Yeah,
that's unfortunate.
I mean we do work with an Irishman, so
Mm.
you know,
The football.
The football.
football, being a good proddy,
Oh no.
being a good Catholic,
He's a good good Celtic boy. Good
probably.
ring,
I
good
don't
ring,
know.
good Jers boy.
Like,
That's
no-
some Limmy patter that I got. But I
Limmy.
feel like I've heard it before. Oh, he was a good Celtic lad.
I don't follow the football. So.
Unless they introduce multi-ball.
Multi-ball.
Oh,
Yes, we've
or-
talked about this. If at any point in any like, presumably it would have to be football, but like any sport, they just introduced the concept of multi-ball. I'd be all over that.
Or Baltle Royale.
Ball, yeah, 100 balls drop onto like an island, and then the last one standing is the winner. We should probably talk about Fortnite as well, because that's the other most popular thing in the world. Season 6 is starting soon.
I'm not
People are
playing
still really
Fortnite in,
angry
like,
that people
months.
play Fortnite.
Are people still really angry that people play? I don't think Schofield's talked about it in a while.
I like to go into the PUBG discussion board on
Oh,
Steam
yeah.
because it's just people going, oh, this is it, PUBG's gonna die now. Oh, between Fortnite and Black Ops 4 Royale or whatever.
Black.
pish.
Oh yeah, the
Oh,
COD's
PUBG's
doing one.
gonna do- oh, and it's like Battle Royale. PUBG drops below 1 million players for the first time since it was released, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is it, the death knell for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. They've only got 800,000 people playing it per day now. Oh,
Oh, that's not enough. I can't get a match. I saw a thumbnail, and it was a guy on Twitch streaming PUBG because Fortnite was down for the morning. Like it was down for maintenance, and they're like, "Oh, we'll play some PUBG because it's down, and then we'll go back to playing Fortnite."
For PUBG. It's the down game.
I just
They,
like
they
the
were just
word
they just
Fortnite.
sour grapes, you know. They did that bit of suing.
That suing was a disgrace.
That suing
like-
was not a good PR move.
It's just like, oh, they stole like our. They stole like our.
They stole
identity.
the concept of battle royale and they
It
stole
was a
our
game that had literally no visual identity whatsoever because they just like bought generic
Steam assets. Yeah, unique assets. No, I tell a lie. I have played PUBG once.
Ah,
You
that's
let me
painful.
play it. You let me play it. I got a handgun and then I ran across a field and died.
That sounds like a battle royale game.
He plays PC games like my dad plays games. in
I'm
general.
really good
He
at Dark
can't-
Souls,
he
everyone.
can't move and do.
To
No,
be fair,
no, I
it's not
cannot-
at the same time.
I can't do the moving and attacking with the
Like,
keyboard.
He has to stop and then move the mouse and then start moving again.
Tank controls. That's basically how I do it. I mean,
It's like when watching my dad play Portal 2 and it took him 45 minutes to do the first puzzle.
that's cool that your dad played Portal 2 though. That's a cool dad. Did you just force him to do Portal 2?
He was off work for a year with
Ah.
shoulder injury. He got really bored.
Oh, so
We bonded. We played
Aw.
FIFA together.
that's lovely. That's a good dad moment.
That's some
That's-
That
boring
was the
That's
last
some
damn
warm-
moment.
Oh, that was the last damn one.
That was
In
the last show of time.
2012.
You've never spoken again.
Aye, pretty much.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Poor dad would.
I've played Fortnite recently, and you know how they just keep adding things to
I
Fortnite.
heard they added like a stadium.
They did. It was a portable. I'd never got it because I just checked to see if it was still free on the Switch and then put it off.
Because that's so they can like 1v1 me.
And it's like a stadium where there's like loads of pads and jumpy bits, and it's like, you know how they got the portable fort.
Yeah.
It's like a portable thing like that. They keep adding big millennial deep lore to Fortnite because you know how there's like the plot, like the thing keeps like advancing, like the island keeps changing, and there's
Which
like
is quite fun. I mean,
it's
quite
insane. And like every time I go on, they're like, "Here's a new gun. Here's a new." There was like there was a sniper rifle that had like X-ray vision. That's not what it had.
Thermal.
Thermal. And then like another day I went on, there was like gas grenades, and another day that went on, they added a mode that was 50 versus 50, which is my preferred way of playing. I know you, David, don't like the 50 versus 50 as much as you like the solo play, but they added that. But you could also just continually soar when you jumped, like you went back into your parachute, so you had they added more mobility to it. If I was people making Fortnite, I'd have probably just ran away with the money at some point. Like I'd have just made all the billions and then left.
Well, the
Like
thing is, though, it's
I'd
an
have
ongoing
I'd
economy.
have probably became a
No, but
man
you
made
have
of
to
cocaine.
invest, because if you want more money.
But I don't. I've already got my 1,700 billion. I'm now physically made of cocaine. I'm happy. Like I'm not that greedy. Like it's cool that they're doing stuff with that.
It's because it's insane.
Did
'cause,
they
like,
do stuff with PUBG? Is
like-
kind of my
Well,
counterpart.
they do.
But,
Actually,
like,
yeah,
okay,
they
so
have-
see, like 3-4 years ago, people were just like, Epic are like totally out of the games business. They're just like
Yeah.
an engine licensing company at this point. Like they announced Fortnite, but what
What is Fortnite?
What is Fortnite? Like is it like it's not came out. Like there's maybe been a beta of it like 2 years ago.
landed
What-
like a wet towel. I mean, has anyone here ever
Is it
played
gonna
Save
get
the World mode?
Is it gonna get cancelled?
Mm.
Like
No, isn't Save the World free yet? And
no,
also, Save the World mode is not on the Switch version.
no. It's
I
not.
do want to play Save the World.
I would love to play Save the World,
I
but
feel
also
that's more my jam.
like fort building and like hordes.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
I love the fort building aspect of Fortnite. I just can't do it because
Can't do it on the fly because there's people coming at you from every
Yeah.
side.
Like
yeah.
Fortnite was literally announced in like 2011. or
Really?
2012. Like it was
They added a mode
crazy.
called Playground Mode where you can't die, so you can just run around building
Yeah,
stuff.
but then there's no context.
Yeah, there's no. It's like kind of creative on
It helps
Mass
you
Effect.
because like
Mass Effect, Minecraft.
it helps with the controls because if you want to win matches, then you have to be good at building.
You've got to be good at building. That's what I hear. That's what the players tell me. That's what Roseanne on Twitter says to get the Fortnite wins.
That was a good 5 minutes
A
there.
hot 5 minutes.
Where Roseanne was like cool because Roseanne was coming back.
I don't know if she was cool, but she was coming back, and also she mentioned Fortnite.
And then six
then-
weeks later, her show had gotten cancelled because
It was a
she
massive
was
racist. Isn't that coming back but without Roseanne?
It's coming back without Roseanne.
Is that actually
Roseanne
happening?
Is dead. I feel like they've confirmed this. Like
Mm.
they felt because like the rest of the
Does
cast
her planet
were, like,
need her?
Yeah. The rest of like because like okay, so literally Roseanne got renewed, and then
Mhm.
like 2 days later
She said some things.
she said some things and got sacked.
Mm.
And then they were like, we don't want to finish. Like we feel like we're doing a good thing here. So then they were like, we'll just bring Roseanne back without Roseanne. So. But apparently they're killing Roseanne off. So I guess it'll
I think
be
just
John,
they
John
actually-
Goodman and other people.
That's a shame. I really like
I'm
John
happy
Goodman.
that John Goodman has a job though.
John Goodman always has a job.
Yeah.
John Goodman's out there doing stuff. He was in that Kong film. It looks like he lost a lot of weight. Remember John Goodman was in Cloverfield 2?
Yes, Tank Limit is one of my favourite John Goodman roles. He's fantastic in it.
My favourite John Goodman role. He is fantastic in it, but he's also a terrifying Terminator of a man that won't die.
Yes, yeah.
And I genuinely had the fear of watching that film because of John Goodman. I guess my top John Goodman roles would be Fred Flintstone,
Yeah.
because he did play Fred Flintstone in that film. Didn't play it in 2 because there was that sequel, that incredibly naughty's Las Vegas or
Yeah.
Rock Vegas film.
Feels like a role he was born to play.
It does, doesn't
It does.
Yeah.
Sully.
Cloverfield 2. Sully, I keep forgetting he's Sully. Is Sully his big one? His big animation one? Because I feel like he's also in other things.
He's
He's Hound.
He's Hound.
He's Hound in Transformers.
Yeah.
How could you not have that like straight off the bat?
Because I don't really like him that much. It's sad that he's like in Transformers being like.
He's having a good time.
It's-
He is,
it's,
but-
it's good. It's Goodman and Buscemi together again at last.
Buscemi's not in. Was Buscemi in 5? Am I blanking on something
I
here?
think I think
Your
so.
boy Buscemi is in that. Does he
I-
play,
I
does
feel
he
like
play the
they're-
racist stereotype?
Yeah.
I feel like they're both because like all like fucking the Big Lebowski.
Yeah, I've never actually seen The Big Lebowski.
It's one of those
John
films I
Goodman
feel
is
like you
in
need
it.
to
He's
watch.
very good in it.
Yeah. I've not actually seen any. Where I was going with my top John Goodman roles is I've not actually seen any of his good work. Like, I've not seen any of his critically acclaimed stuff. I've just seen
Isn't he in
The
that?
Flintstones.
Isn't he in that dinosaurs puppet thing?
Dinosaurs Puppet thing.
You know what I'm talking about. It's like
Din-
the Muppets, but dinosaurs.
Oh.
You know.
I don't know if he is. Isn't he just.
I mean, I feel
Isn't
like
he just like a kind of overweight American dad that is basically Homer? So we assume he's John Goodman.
Yeah.
Was that just called Dinosaurs? The
I
Fox
imagine
show.
it is.
Remember, it was like a Jim Henson
Oh yeah.
dinosaur. It was in the 90s. The Simpsons have a joke about it. They watch it on TV, and it's like, oh, it's like they put our lives on TV. Like,
And then they all die.
they all die at the end of Dinosaurs because the extinction of the dinosaurs happens. It's great.
Wow.
and they just slowly freeze to death in their house.
That's one of those shows. I think it is the PJs, the other one, the kind of claymation.
Yeah, they had Eddie Murphy in it.
Was it Eddie Murphy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing that I,
I really
think
liked
about.
the PJs.
I remember liking it in
PJs.
1999, 98.
It was really hard to watch because it's one of those ones that was just like on Sky One once every month.
Yeah,
It's like if you ever wanted to watch anime before the internet, you had to put on like Bravo at 3 in the morning.
Bravo and Channel 4 after midnight.
Yeah.
We could watch Fist of the North Star. There was also that Lion show, which I think was a John Goodman thing. Was it Father of the Pride? It was about lions.
Another Sky One.
Yeah,
film.
there's all those non-Futurama shows of the time, basically.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? John Goodman.
John Goodman.
John Goodman, Fred Flintstone, himself in Cloverfield 2, and then third thing, Punchline. Third,
Bottom text.
bottom text. I feel like there was something. Oh yeah, Community. His role in Community was great.
Never watched Community yet.
You've never watched Community? He turns out he's an evil air conditioning cult leader.
Oh, it's just probably be an evil air conditioner.
He has a great role where he's like this threatening presence who's getting Troy, Childish Gambino, to join the air conditioning course at the college. And that's what it starts as. But then it goes on for a season, and John Goodman has a genuine breakdown over the course of the show. Like, he just goes completely mad and like has this incredible like vulnerable episode. It's great. Like, you've seen Community. Do you remember that?
Bits. I've seen like the first half of season 1.
Yeah.
Very little sense.
Season 1 culture is a good thing. I was talking a lot about that last night watching the new Bleach film on Netflix, because it is just season 1
I
of
watched
Bleach.
a lot of Community in 2009 during the first season.
Were
when
you
I was
in...
doing exams
Yeah.
at university, and this was like in a pre-Netflix age.
Mm.
Like you had to download torrents because it
Did you
wasn't
have to
on
torrent
TV.
Community?
I had to torrent Community.
Community
on
is one of
terrible
those...
internet or terrible university internet.
I saw an American YouTuber talking about that once, and they were saying that it was the or it may have actually been Dan Reichert. It might have been Dan Reichert, but he was talking about dorm shows, and Community was one of them. And then it was Rick and Morty.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, it's the same creator, isn't it? It's a Dan Harmon
Dan
thing.
Harmon, yeah.
Yeah, the tone there really changed between the shows.
Yeah.
Like the whole Chevy Chase thing really cut him there, didn't it? Like it really.
Not been the same since.
No. Well, I was watching something with Chevy Chase in it the other day, or I was thinking about it, and I was like, Chuck. Is Chevy Chase in Chuck?
Yeah.
Is he? You say this every time, but I can't remember him.
Yeah.
What does he do in Chuck?
He's the evil counterpart to Scott Bakula.
Is he?
Yeah, Scott
I remember.
Bakula's
I
that.
remember vividly, that
Yeah,
Scott
the Nazis.
Bakula is in Chuck.
Yeah.
Because Scott Bakula turns up and he's really awkward. And is that what Scott Bakula is like normally? Because that kind of seems like he's just playing himself.
Probably. I recently watched kind of a semi-kick thing, so we're gonna talk about this anyway.
Yeah.
I watched one of the first episodes of the latest season of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and Scott Bakula's in it.
Is Scott Bakula in Always Sunny?
Yes.
Who does Scott Bakula play?
Himself.
Really?
He's a janitor in an old folks home, and the joke being that he's there researching a role, but then his supervisor comes up and says, "Get back to work, Hollywood." And he's like, "Damn it!" And he turns around, and it actually turns out he's quantum leaped.
I've never seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I
Oh,
was-
it's great.
I wouldn't say it's something that I'd normally watch, but I was very sick, and you put me onto it. I had a good sick week where I sat and watched at least a few seasons of Always Sunny.
Yeah, I mean, fun enough, Jess has only watched the first season.
I can see why.
The only season not containing Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito, the reveal of Danny DeVito was great, because I didn't know Danny DeVito wasn't always in it. But like that season where they're horrible people in the first season, and then
That season with
well,
the horrible
no,
people.
that season where it's like they're horrible people, and then Danny DeVito turns up to be like their
It's
dad.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia, like the closest thing America has to Peep Show.
I
Like,
would
am
say
right in
probably-
thinking
Kind
that?
of, yeah.
It's probably the only one of the few American shows where they don't feel like they feel comfortable with actually saying swear words and all that.
I would
Which-
say that its Americanness makes it a lot more, and you might balk at me for saying this, but more whimsical than Peep Show. Like Peep Show is kind of like Peep Show goes to weird places sometimes, but it's relentlessly normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And-
grim. Whereas It's Always Sunny is very like, even though they're terrible people with terrible lives, they're actually quite optimistic.
Always Sunny, you just told us they did a Quantum Leap joke.
Yeah.
Like they'll do kind of reality breaking things
well,
like
the whole
that.
point of the episode is that they went into the bodies of black people.
Okay.
But it turned out to be a dream episode of Old Black Man, who was also Scott Bakula, who quantum leaped as Old Black Man. No, because they have ridiculous things like Fight Milk,
The Day Man
the Day Man,
and the Night Man.
Full Penetration for Lethal Weapon 5,
Yes.
where Frank just pretends to be Native American.
I really like that Danny DeVito's out there making content.
Uh,
Matilda 2 when? That's when I say.
when?
What were we talking about? I know that's... Should we call the podcast that? What were we talking about? Question mark.
Well, it started off with Fortnite. For that
Fortnite, aye.
one. On the subject of games, there's a couple of one.
What have you been playing? Yeah.
Aye,
What have you played
What
this?
have we been playing?
What have we been playing?
Well, I can guarantee we're playing stuff that none of you have heard about because I'm the only one here that plays PC stuff.
You PC gaming elitist.
Oh,
Well,
talking about Steam.
Here you are with your edgelord, with your steamy, always
Oh,
sunny.
you're talking about graphics card, 1080.
How many bitcoins have you mined today?
I'm at the Bitcoin game.
I know you're okay with
Your
the Bitcoin.
comfy couch.
The fact that you're into the Bitcoin game is incredible, though.
Yeah, that was a good experiment.
That was a good
I lost
hop.
a lot of money.
You did.
I've been playing Vermintide 2.
I know about Vermintide 2. I've never played it.
Have you ever played Left 4 Dead, David?
Yes,
It's like that, except rat men, and you have a sword, and there's magic.
that doesn't sound as
It-
entertaining as
It's
Left 4 Dead.
pretty entertainment. It's got a very fun loot system in it to keep it really replayable. Very well recommend it. I've also been playing Frostpunk.
Frostpunk. You told me about Frostpunk
I have.
once.
Frostpunk is incredibly good. Now, to explain Frostpunk, it's this. Now, take your standard kind of survival type game.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
instead of you running about surviving, you're actually playing. It's actually SimCity.
It's SimCity, but Frost.
Survival.
Okay.
The idea being that it's set in the Victorian period London. Well.
Oh, is it
world.
with the ice fair kind of thing?
Well, what happens is there's a global ice age and the world's basically freezing to death. There's no way to escape it.
Oh no.
Very, very grim. Very, very depressing. And the whole point is you have to build a city and try and maintain the warmth and the hope everyone there or everyone dies. And you're probably the last collection of people on Earth.
How many graphs does this game involve?
Lots.
Lots. Is it one of your graph punk games?
Well, I wouldn't say.
Do you have to keep a spreadsheet?
No.
Do you encourage? Would you keep a spreadsheet though?
No.
Okay.
I don't. It's not spreadsheet intensive. I feel for newcomers there it's too intensive spreadsheet wise, but for me,
For an advanced graph man like yourself.
it's not. It's not anything that'd be like too difficult. It's easier than SimCity in terms of how to play it.
SimCity on the SNES.
Yes.
Okay, I have played that, so
There's only a few resources you have to keep track of: coal, wood, steel, food.
Did you get Bowser to destroy the city?
I didn't get very far at all. There's been incredible Bowser content this week. We could talk about the whole Peachette Bowser thing that's happening.
Also,
That's
bad
something
week
a porn
for
I wanna
Toad.
see.
I say you say bad week for Toad. I wasn't shocked by that. Like that happened. Like Donald Trump's penis looks like Toad.
That's what I heard.
Fair play? That is that a graphic? Like, is that graphic?
Mm,
A lot of people are like, oh my god, I'll never unsee this, or like, oh, I
mean,
need bleach to scrub this from my brain. Yeah, okay.
I mean, have you
like,
seen a penis before?
Yeah,
they're not really nice to look at, no matter what they look like.
They all do like a Doctor Who monster from the 70s,
Oh,
like
no.
rolling across the fields trying
You're
to
right.
devour
What's
like,
what's the
John
shape
Pertwee.
of it? Zargons or something?
the Zygons.
They look like,
Zygons, yeah.
they look like a Zygon.
You're not far off.
You're not wrong, Ted.
Ladies, penises look like Zygons.
I was gonna say something,
Take it
but
from us who have to deal with them every day.
every single unless we are a Zygon, we could shapeshift away. You know. Do you remember how like David Tennant came back to do the film and he probably basically made them do Zygons?
Yeah.
Like it seemed like that was written into his contract that the villains would be Zygons. I think it's a Scottish thing because the first Zygon episode is set in Scotland and David Tennant loves Zygons. And you know who else likes Zygons and had multiple Zygon episodes? Peter Capaldi's
Peter
Doctor.
Capaldi.
So maybe it's just like in the 70s,
What about,
like Doctor Who went to Scotland for one episode and like Scotland remembers that forever. It's like, okay, Terror of the Zygons.
What about
Best
McCoy?
episode? McCoy, to my knowledge, didn't have a Zygon episode, but there's probably been lots of expanded
I
universe
feel
stuff.
like Doctor Who is like not as culturally strong in Scotland as it is in England.
We do have a TARDIS in Glasgow, though.
No, and but you know, like when I think of like English culture, I think of like all those people who are like, oh, you hid behind the sofa and watching.
Yeah, like-
did anyone actually fucking do that? Like, who are all these people? I know.
I did not hide behind the sofa. I went to sit on the sofa while I watched it on omnibus format on UK Gold.
I feel like most people in this country don't have sofas that float in the middle of rooms because most people have tiny houses where they
Or
have to put their
TV.
sofa against a wall.
It does seem that like
I mean,
That
we just
seems
got
like
the
a-
Matrix and VHS
Like it's like a
last
middle
year.
class like whitewashing version of Doctor Who
Mm.
that exists in the mind of like middle
well,
class.
I don't think
English.
Doctor Who is scary or was ever scary.
Yeah,
like I don't think of it as a scary thing. Like it's a fun, dumb sci-fi show.
I'm going to back up your theory here a little bit by using a personal anecdote.
Hmm.
I work with a lassie who could be described as very middle class English.
Yeah.
Hi Sophie, by the way, in the off chance you hear this.
Hello.
Hi.
Now you remember that picture I posted on Facebook a couple months back of the roundabout on fire.
Yes, I was
Yes.
very befuddled by the
I'm
roundabout being on
still
fire.
unclear about.
Have a guess who caused that?
Was it your friend Sophie?
No,
Was it the Daleks?
Was it Ned's?
N1.
Right.
Now, when I explained to her that it was teenagers who did this, she was incredibly confused, thinking, why would teenagers do this? And I was like, that tells me everything I need to know about where you come from. That is a cultural divide that we will never be able to bridge.
Yeah.
And that is how I feel about your Doctor Who hide behind the sofa thing.
Yeah, those seem like linked feelings, really. Like very visceral.
It is a very different culture.
Mhm. I just think Doctor Who's it looks cool. Like that's why I liked it as a Wayne, as a Baron.
Bear.
My dad watched Doctor Who. I remember sitting watching them Spearhead from space with him.
Nice.
Or Shepherds from space. I always thought it was Shepherds from space for some reason. Dyspraxia, that's probably why.
Dyslexia.
Dyspraxia is a funner one to say. But I remember sitting watching Spearhead from space with him, and then I was like, this looks like a cool thing. I wasn't, scared by the, like, paper mache tentacle.
To be fair,
Monster.
Spearhead from space is actually pretty scary.
Well, I mean, the faces look terrifying. The second Axon episode, not Axon, is it Axon?
Auton.
Auton. The second Auton episode looks
How good
worse.
Spearhead from space looks.
It's on HD, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
on film. You can go out and get a Blu-ray of Spearhead from
Yeah.
Space. And that's the only... Well, they've actually started doing Blu-rays. They did Tom Baker's first season on Blu-ray. I don't know how they did it
Yeah.
on Blu-ray, but they have.
They probably just like upscaled it.
Peter Davidson's first season's coming out as well, if not
Nice.
hasn't already came out. That's a weird one, though, because I feel like Castrovalva's a banger, but not much else is.
Yeah.
I have watched all of Doctor Who in the last 6 months because I watched the Twitch stream. I'm a better person now. I'm better than you because I have seen all of Doctor Who. That's how I feel in my heart.
Absolutely.
I would say that, well, it may be just more of my dad's influence than anything else, but if I was to make a observation of sorts,
Yeah.
I would say you're right in saying Doctor is more of an English thing.
Aye.
I
He
would
is an
say-
Englishman.
I would say the kind of aggressively punk 80s, like synthwave sci-fi of our forefathers is more Scottish because it's all very industrial and grim and
Yeah.
blood everywhere and hard drinking men and...
Yeah.
My dad was very into watching like Total Recall, Arnold Schwarzenegger and all that.
Same as my
I
dad.
never really watched any Doctor Who. I've never went away to watch any Doctor Who. When David Tennant started doing it, I'd see an advert on BBC and go, oh, that's that Doctor Who thing I sometimes hear about on like The Simpsons.
On The Simpsons.
That Tom Baker.
They only used the
Yeah.
Tom Baker animation model for Doctor Who. Yeah. It was a good time. They've probably been... I bet Matt Smith's probably been in The Simpsons by now. David
Yeah.
Tennant probably has.
Oh,
Season
yeah.
30, like,
Oh no.
it is
I mean,
happening.
We've probably been in The Simpsons at this stage.
Like, just without our knowledge. There was that episode that had Alan Moore in it.
Oh
And
my
like,
god.
he like
as a
hulked
guest
out.
voice.
Yeah,
Wow.
he voiced himself. They were at the comic shop, and like there was 3 guests, and it was like Alan
Oh
Moore.
wow, it's Alan Moore.
Yeah, there was a joke about like Watchmen babies from like Millhouse, and it was like, oh, the corporation. He was very like Alan Moore about it. It was like the corporations ruined the comics. But I always think that Alan Moore doesn't like comics anyway. So like, I always feel like his arguments against that are very hollow because he clearly doesn't like anything other than like
pain, suffering.
Mad eldritch novels.
Like I don't know if he even likes Eldritch horrors anymore. That's what you think of when you think of Alan Moore. But does he actually? Does he sit down of an eve and enjoy anything?
If there was one thing that you would sit down and even enjoy, it would be that.
He
I
enjoys
don't know.
Saturday Morning Watchmen.
He does enjoy Saturday Morning Watchmen. That is a fantastic fact.
Best adaptation ever, according to Alan Moore.
I
No offense
saw
to Harry Partridge, it is good.
I saw and enjoyed the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen film many years before I knew who Alan Moore was.
It's fine. I mean, I don't know if it's maybe just the passage of time. Back then I was young, and young people are idiots and don't know anything.
It's a film with Sean Connery.
Isn't it basically Sean Connery's last film?
He'd
Yeah.
retired, yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't he pass on the role of Gandalf because he didn't understand
probably.
the script or something, and then took. He's like, oh, those fantasy films are good. I'll take the next one that comes along, and it was League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I'm sure it was fine. I don't actually.
I think it's a very your dad film.
Is Sean Connery still alive?
Yes.
He's probably
but-
arguing for independence from his super mansion in California.
I don't think he's well.
No, we've not seen him for many years, but
I
he's
was
very
checking
old now.
Yeah, I was just checking he was still alive.
Yeah, he is. He is. I think as a Scotsman, we'd probably know if Sean
Yeah,
He's
we
Connery.
probably still alive. I feel he's.
Billy Connery is also not very well.
Isn't he
from what I
like
understand.
90 or something now?
He's not that. I think he's in his 70s, but I think he's got Parkinson's.
Is it Parkinson? He's not very well, but I've seen him make appearances and stuff. So
Yeah.
he's still
Like,
out doing stuff.
When Billy Connolly dies, that's going to be like a genuine national tragedy.
Aye.
Like, say what you want about Brexit and independence vote or anything else, Alex Salmond being a fucking sex offender or whatever.
Like Billy Connolly was in the 70s and the 80s. He was our national comedian.
Yeah.
It's like Lemmy. now.
90s is. I feel like Lemmy's more in our hearts than he is. Normal people don't know about Lemmy.
Lemmy's definitely a Scottish thing.
I think most of the Scottish population know about.
I don't think most of the Scottish population know that he's out there doing Malcolm, or,
No.
or streaming Overwatch like a madman.
Most of the Scottish population under 30 knows who Lemmy is. I would say.
Ah,
Everyone I know knows who Lemmy is, really.
That's all that matters.
I mean, my mum does know who Lemmy is, so you're probably
I mean,
not right.
she didn't realise who it was.
No,
she knows
but-
who it is. Like that time she met Lemmy.
She met Lemmy in. My mum met Lemmy in an Irish hotel when she was away on a hen night the other year, and she told me about it. She was like, "Yeah, I met Lemmy," and I was like, "Okay." And it was she called him that to his face, and he was apparently quite down to earth and
Very funny.
very funny in person. I saw him talking about coding today. He was very much like,
Yeah.
back in my day, we
He's big
coded.
into Flash. Steve Jobs killed Flash, and then
Then Flash killed him.
I think he implied that Adobe had killed him because he had crossed Flash. Because that's all Lemmy knows how to make is Flash.
Yeah, I'm very much
Flash-tuned.
I'm very much into the culture of still being angry at cartoons and calling them Flash animation, even though they probably haven't used Flash for a
No.
decade.
Newgrounds is still a thing.
Is it? Is
Yes.
Ego Raptor still out and about?
See, is Newgrounds just MRE, Reddit, fucking red pill content at this point?
I mean, they're still. I don't know. I'll look on there because that guy. You mind the game Madness or the
No.
film Madness or
Like,
whatever?
what possible reason would any normal member of society have to go to Newgrounds?
I
Well-
went for Madness.
I've been thinking about loading up Miniclip if that's possible.
Do you want me to check?
Check if
Also-
Miniclip's still
also,
up.
Newgrounds is just full of porn.
Isn't that everything though?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know how this made me think of that, but do you know Tesco's is starting a new shop called Jack's?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were showing me Jack's, the Brexit
The
supermarket.
Brexit supermarket. Everything's got a Union Jack on it.
Oh, is
It's the
that why it's
British.
called Jack?
That feels like they're playing the long game there.
They know what's
Miniclip
coming.
Still exists apparently.
Of course it does.
They have an app.
Oh, what?
Miniclip.
Oh, I don't know about this. I don't know.
Meatball Pool. Do they have
Mini clip
Bush-
is
Heli Attack?
What about Bush Shootout or Bush Shootout 2?
balloons.
All the Stickman things and the sand falling game.
Sketchman.
Sketch-
I Stunt 2.
Oh.
Fragger. What the fuck?
I mean, I don't think you'll know what's on Miniclip. I think that's like a generational thing there.
Yeah.
Do you think people are still playing Miniclip in high schools?
I'd hope so.
You know, they're finishing their work and be like, oh, you got like 10 minutes of free time on the internet. Like,
But then they just like crack out their phones and start Snapchatting their like
Snapchatting their Discords
like,
and their.
Snapchatting their vajazzles to each other and all that. And
Jesus.
Fucking-
Instagram stories.
I feel like Instagram's like an old. But we were watching a
Instagram
YouTube.
is an old person.
We were watching a YouTuber and they mentioned one of their social media feeds, and it genuinely sounded like they just said, "And follow me on Galoobloob," and it's like it just, and my brain just whited out when they said it because it was such a new, unheard of youth thing.
There's some like
It's
hipster.
happening.
There's some like hipster Twitter called like Mastodon.
Mastodon. Is that an alt right
elite.
thing?
That sounds incredibly elite and like
It's
very.
like elite.
I'm
it's
just gonna
fucking-
like. What do you do on
Oh,
Mastodon?
Mastodon
You tweet
server.
on Twitter. Do you like honk on Mastodon or like?
You scroll.
Squeeze Mastodon. I don't know.
Do you morph on
Oh,
Do you
I
shout
don't know.
Mastodon and morph into the Black Ranger? What the hell? Remember when LinkedIn was a thing? Like it probably still is currently a thing.
No, LinkedIn is totally still a thing.
I get linked.
Oh my,
I never log on. To
all,
it.
all the super bosses of my work are on LinkedIn.
Oh, the
Of course they are.
Yeah, totally. You can totally just find Toph on LinkedIn. Hi,
Toff.
Please don't
You're
fire
right.
me.
Toff.
Nah.
You'll probably fire after
He will
this.
literally see if you ever heard this. He would literally fire me
Yeah.
just for mentioning him. He's a psycho like
And then,
that.
oh Jesus.
Yeah.
That's concerning. Well, I hope we don't get big. We should probably link our Patreon to this as well. I made a Patreon, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've not actually done anything with it or set it
It's
up, but I have an account.
It's happened. You're finally
Yay.
e-begging.
I'm finally e-begging.
It's
Like-
happened.
Like we can just keep talking forever. Like we can be the perpetual stream. I will just keep changing out this battery pack. then
Eventually,
immediately
the
stop
algorithm
talking.
will have to do something with us when it realizes we've been streaming for 24 days.
They've got like a response team. I'm pretty sure that they just send out. Like a black Google van comes and they like send out their kill squad. It's like nope, they've reached peak stream.
Just
Can't
swat you.
handle it
They're
anymore.
just rocking back and forwards, like singing Kathleen Kennedy, Kathleen Kennedy. See, I don't feel bad about like not talking on a stream as well because you can just sit there and be like, this is
Fine.
this is live content.
No
like
one's watching.
no one's watching, but like even if they were,
people
like
enjoy it uncensored.
yeah, it's raw.
It's too
it's
hot
hot-
for TV.
It's hot and heavy raw content. It's
Just-
two pieces of meat just slapping
just
together.
pounding it,
I need to take a comfort break.
You go take a comfort break.
pounding
We
it,
might talk about Warhammer, Holly, because
pounding it.
David's not a Warhammer man, so he probably wouldn't.
Yeah, I'll talk Warhammer because I'm getting back into it. I mean, I brought my stuff to play. We never actually did that.
We've got all night. Like I don't know when you need to get back for it, but
I mean, I don't know because I'll need to go back and then bring the hammer back.
Yeah. yeah,
This wasn't like.
we didn't plan this well, but I don't think we could have planned it well.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'll come with you. We'll have a rage.
yeah. I figured you'd say that.
Yeah, you can't get rid of me.
Yeah.
I've not seen you for a month, and now I'm like, you come
It's not been
closer.
a month.
It's been like a month.
It doesn't feel like a month.
I mean, I've spoke to you on like things, but it's mostly been me
Yeah.
going, Rager!
Yeah, it's getting to the point I have to ignore you. Because I'm busy trying to live my life.
You're just living your life, and I'm like, can you go to charity shops with me, please? Do you want to go to Falkirk?
And I'm just like, I actually said to Jess the other day, I bet Amber's just not giving him enough attention.
No, I get a lot of attention. I'm just very thirsty for everyone's attention. That's why we're streaming. Like, I need to be famous. By the age of 30, I need to have at least 100 followers on Twitter, or it's just not been worth it. Where are Kathleen Kennedy? Where are you? We could say it yesterday and there'd be followers, but no.
The Last Jedi was the best Star Wars film.
The Last Jedi was something we talked about yesterday. So by the laws of podcasting,
I was there.
I know you were there, but you weren't here, so people didn't hear you say it. Like, it didn't.
But it's archived now.
It is archived.
My
You can go back.
comments.
Yeah, I saw that. I was
Yeah.
reading through them. It was fun. Didn't realize there were so many.
Yeah.
Yeah. Warhammer.
Right, so, I actually had stuff I wanted to say about it as well.
Warhammer is currently being run by someone who's as evil as the previous management, but knows how to run a business.
They are running a really good business.
They are running a business.
Like, I never thought I'd see a resurgence like this for the past few years.
Like,
It all started with that Necrons relaunch, and it's just went on.
was
and
it?
on.
Is that one you would say it was the one with the moon ships? Like the.
Well, just when they went all like Egyptian. That was it.
Was that the point? Would you say
To
that?
me, that was the point, because then they did Dark Eldar, or was it Dark Eldar
I
first?
feel like Dark Elder was the first one back, but I feel like that was still in old evil Games Workshop territory.
Well, I'd say either or, but either or, that was when they started getting really weird.
I think the point is when they started like streaming and putting out thin your paints memes.
Oh my god, when their meme control
When the
is
Games
on
Workshop-
point.
Their meme control is fantastic.
Like we're talking like Sonic Twitter level. Meme control.
I don't actually follow the Warhammer Twitter, but I imagine it's a good time.
Aye.
Yeah, when the evil entity that is Games Workshop merged with the concept of memes, they figured out how to get people to buy model kits.
And it works.
It works, and usually it's just by making them a wee bit cheaper, or putting out little ones, or putting out like a constant stream of them.
Or, like here's a new board game where you'll get like all this stuff for like 70% of the cost to buy individually. You
they're-
really want to buy that, don't you?
They're like deeply obsessed with board games, like because you know how the big board game boom happened, and I feel like it's burst. I feel like Games Workshop are still out there doing good work, but I feel like people aren't into board games as
they're-
much as they were a couple of years ago.
Well, they're really smart because they're just doing like limited releases and stuff, and then like for example, Jungle Patrol.
That happened, didn't it? Jungle
What is it
Patrol?
now?
Don't know.
They're good like that. They'll give it a limited release. They'll do it at key points of the year as well, which is good because that's how they're getting new customers in, which is keeping it in instead of like assaulting you as soon as you're in through the door. Now it's here's a board game.
Here's a board game. Well, they're doing.
See these wee models, by the way. We've got this bigger game that you can kind of use it with.
They did board games, and then they became deeply obsessed with skirmish games.
Aye.
Look, because they've got Kill Team now.
Well, they
so-
had I was reading about this actually yesterday. Fun enough.
Mhm.
They had Shadow Wars,
Yeah, that's two words that go together in my mind for Games
which
Workshop.
was basically just Space Marine Scouts versus Orcs.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then they've went to full Kill Team with that, and then they've went full Circle.
Mhm.
And then we've got Necromunda coming back.
They've got Necromunda came back. You could have got
Yeah.
it, but it's probably gone now. You probably can't buy the Necromunda box anymore. But and I know that doesn't sound like a good business practice, but like compared to like stagnant 2000s Games Workshop,
Like doing nothing, maybe Finecast.
like I don't know, maybe they did. Yeah, they did Finecast. I thought Finecast was fine because I didn't buy any of the Finecast, so I never had any experience with. Did you build Finecast models? Were they fine or were they?
I preferred it to metal.
Did you? I like the feel of metal. Like I like
It's
the.
too heavy.
I like the thought of like knowing that I might be getting lead poisoning from licking a model because. You know how like they probably haven't used lead in their models in like my entire lifespan.
Yeah.
But you still think about it every time you hold a metal model.
Kinda.
Yeah. Remember, like, did you ever go down the car boot and someone was selling like knockoff
No.
casted Warhammer stuff,
No.
and then your mum was like, "Did you buy that? It's made of lead, Craig. Did I lick it? Did I lick it?" And then you're like, I don't know.
No, my parents never took me to car bits.
Oh, we should go to car boots
You forget,
Sunday.
My parents are abusive.
They're not abusive. You can't say that online because it's libel and or slander, and they're your parents.
True. They are my parents.
They are.
That is factually true.
That is genetically true.
No,
They're doing skirmish games. They're doing Kill Team at the moment, where you make your own kill team, and that's kind of. It seems that's where they're going. Is that for ages Games Workshop wanted to make. They want you to buy billions of things to have big games.
That's really funny because they mentioned that because for the longest time they were trying to make like full scale epic.
Yeah.
And now they're doing Kill Team.
They're doing Kill Team because they.
But I think they figured it out because they're like, oh, if we did Kill Team, people won't use many models. But if we charge like £80 for a model,
Yeah, they're still evil. Like we have to stress that they still want
they're
your
just
plastic crack money.
competently evil.
Yeah, it's beautiful to see them as competent as they are, and I think the peak of it is that they put out that magazine service. You know how back in the day they had the Middle Earth, Battle for Middle Earth.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's what got you into Warhammer.
it was. Yeah.
It was. I got
and
that
then, like,
magazine.
they're relaunching that.
Are they relaunching it? Because I saw that they relaunched Battle for Middle Earth, the game.
Yeah.
Are they doing the magazine again? Do you know, or is
Well,
that?
they're doing a magazine.
Well, they're doing the Conquest magazine.
Well, I just saw at the front White Dwarf, like Battle for Pelennor Field.
The Pelennor Fields was one of the first things I saw as well because I came in quite late. I was like 2004 or something.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see the Lord of the Rings films in the cinema. I got into the DVDs, and then I saw the Games Workshop in Falkirk.
Well, fun enough, my first foray into Games Workshop was my friend Fraser giving me a shot of a 2-for-1 game disc on the bus
Uh-huh.
that had Chaos Gate and Final Liberation.
Oh, nice. I never played them, but I played Squad Command. Is
I mean,
Squad
this is
Command?
a very different context.
Mm.
Final Liberation was very old, very like 90s old school.
Right.
Like lots of stats, lots of units.
Well,
it was epic basically.
Squad Command I think was XCOM before I knew what XCOM was.
Squad Command was a PSP like duff.
I feel it was, but I feel like Squad Command was like ripped from a '90s thing that they just reskinned to be a PSP game.
But no, that Warhammer Conquest magazine is like a work of art.
Well, it's great because it's like this nostalgic thing that we have nostalgia for because we got the Battle for Middle Earth magazine, and it's also like, hey people, do you want to get into Warhammer for £2? Because they do. It's one of those magazines where you see on the telly,
Yeah,
and it's
you're
like the first issue is like a £2, and you get so much stuff.
Hi, here's a £40 Rhino for £2.
I don't know if they've got into £40 Rhino.
No, my brother's got a subscription to it.
Really?
Yeah, because he was like a backer or something.
Really?
Because apparently the first 2 issues were like a Kickstart type.
Well, the
set.
thing that happened was, you remember when I got it? Because I got it like in, was it March or something that
I was
came
really
out?
confused. I thought it was like, are they relaunching it or
They,
something?
it collapsed after 4 issues for some reason, and then it came back recently. And because it did 4 issues, and it did all of the clip together sets from the Dark Imperium box, and then they announced the 5th issue, and that was going to have a new Primaris captain that wasn't out in Games Workshop, and that set like the world alight because it's like, what? It's got an exclusive model, and then that issue just didn't come out, and I was like, oh, maybe it's this con thing where they've got the assets to make Games Workshop stuff and like print them, like 3D print them or something, and then they've just got away like madmen. But no, Games Workshop in their Infinite Evil realized this was a good thing and went back and got them to do it again.
Just devved it all.
They were like, no, lads, you will do this in WH Smith, but you can also sell it in our shops, because they didn't do that in the first run. So they realized that it's a great thing to get like people involved, and hopefully it'll continue past issue 4 this time. I know they've been having trouble with their subscription service, like subscribers aren't getting the issues that they should be getting, when people can just go into the shops and get them.
It's not.
It's early
difficult.
days. It's early days.
It's
but
not difficult though. They literally already do it with White Dwarf.
I know, but like I think it's this company that's doing it, because I think it's a separate thing from Games Workshop.
Have you read the White Dwarf recently?
Only ones that you've bought. They seem better than they were in the mid 2000s.
That's what I was going to ask you. Are they just giant advertising?
Well,
stuff?
at a certain point, White Dwarf went from like rules and fun stuff to just being a catalogue.
Because I used to enjoy reading their battle reports until it became.
You mean it's almost as if they fired the editorial staff?
Well, the editorial staff always like rotate through the things, but it kind of seemed like
Well,
people.
that's the thing. The staff.
Do they still
on
do
that,
match reports?
Yeah.
Yeah, the staff in the
'Cause
magazine.
that's what I
were-
wanted out of White. Like I wanted the pictures specifically because they were always cool ass pictures, and the models were always really, really, really well painted.
Yeah, absolutely.
The heavy metal team, like
Heavy.
heavy metal team, are actually amazing, and they always had pictures from like the Golden Demon Awards. And all
Yeah,
that.
those are damn Italians winning all those golden demons.
Or
Oh,
the Slayer Sword Awards.
I don't know if they still do that, but it's fun that they give out a giant sword to people that can paint Warhammer models.
Yeah.
The I can't speak to you of its quality of late, but it looked like for a good decade there they weren't trying at all. It was just like a catalogue of pictures with like, lip
Battle
service
reports that-
played to battle.
Because it used to be the
reports and-
battle reports that were like proper dramatized and all that. They didn't feel like
There
they
was
were
that
doing
battle
much.
report that I've got, and it was, remember when the Black Templars came out as a separate faction? It might have been like 2007.
Yeah, I had that. I know that actually topic because you have about the flat. And
I have it
had
about
that
the
one.
flat, mm.
There's a cracking one because it's like Black Templars versus Dark Eldar and Chaos.
It's good, but it's also very much like an epitome of the thing, because it shows what they do is they put the new thing against Dark Eldar, who are like 8 years old at that point, their
Yeah.
codex, and Lost in the Damned, like it was a total one-sided thing, and it was so brutally obvious that's what they were doing.
Yeah, but it was great because
I love
they
it,
had
but-
an Emperor's Champion fight a Defiler.
They did. That's what you want.
That is what you want.
But you want them to do that in a way that it doesn't feel like they're just making the new guys win. And also, how terrible must those Black Templars be if they have to put them up against that competition? I quite like that Black Templars era, though. The concept art's amazing. Like the chunky, like chain Templar.
Yeah, the way
like,
they like let's weld the weapons here because
Yeah.
that's not inconvenient at all.
well, it's the Crusade, so you're not going to put your gun down until you die. Kind of crack. Oh dear. But have you bought anything recently? You're one of these mad people that buy things from Games Workshop.
I've not bought anything from Games Workshop in a long time.
You say that,
No,
but-
honestly, I haven't. I have made myself like a vow
Mhm.
to not give them any more money
Mhm.
until I have fully assembled what I have.
That is a great vow. That is like we should get like a wee purity seal put on you for that.
Yeah.
Like an oath of moment.
Yeah.
We should probably just say Spear Tip Assault, because that's one of my favourite things from Games Workshop and its associated media.
Vanguard.
Vanguard Strike, but Spear Tip Assault. I want to write a thing where someone says Spear Tip Assault, and then someone laughs and says, just the tip. That's one of my life goals currently.
Uh,
I haven't bought anything from Games Workshop recently, but I did buy quite a lot of issue 1 of Warhammer Conquest. So now I have like
50 issues.
40 Primaris Marines now. Because I bought about 20 each time the magazine came out. And I don't feel bad because I only spent £20 across 9 months. And instead of like £400.
Yeah.
And like I feel really good because they released the Death Watch again, but they added all the Primaris stuff into the Death Watch book. So you can have your Death Watch squads that are all vanilla Space Marines, and they're all different guys, like Junk Pack guy, Bite guy, Terminator guy, and you know how they're an XCOM team. They'll have their own. You can do that, and then there's separate squads that are all the Primaris vanilla boys, but with Death Watch ammo in their guns, and you know how their guns are like 30-inch range, like rifles.
Yeah.
You can have that, and then you know how the Primaris have special dudes, like the Jump Pack guy that can like spear tip assault in,
Yeah.
and the big Terminator dude with the guns. You can have them in the vanilla squads given the buffs, and it really like pads out the Death Watch because you know how they only had like 2 units. So I'm kind of toying around with making the Death Watch guys that I got the Primaris guys into Death Watch guys. That are Grey Knights.
Very nice.
Grey Knights are very bad right now because you know how they changed the rules where you can't deep strike on turn 1 into your enemy's deployment zone.
Yes.
So that just ruins Grey Knights.
Still maintain Dread Knights are cool.
Dread Knights are cool. They look like they're baby carriers, like a papoose, like a big man with a little Terminator in his papoose.
Yeah, I don't know why people are so put off by it.
I think Matt Ward. I don't know anything about Matt Ward, but if I say Matt Ward right here, people will be like, "Yes, Matt Ward. Yes."
Matt Ward, Kathleen Kennedy.
Matt Ward ruined Star Wars.
He would. Imagine Matt Ward.
I would love if Matt Ward written.
I was mentioning this. I was watching a video last night where someone was arguing that because the mall made more money.
The Meg.
The Meg.
Yeah.
The Meg made more money than Solo. Kathleen Kennedy had
The
to be
Meg.
fired.
The Meg made more
But
money
yeah.
than Solo because China loved it. It was a big, like, broad monster
You
movie
don't need a lot of dialogue for the Meg.
with Jason Statham.
Yeah.
It's basically
I imagine the Chinese government mobilized to deal with the Meg in that film. I've not seen the film, but I imagine
I
they
can very much believe that.
like that's why that film made money. I might be completely wide of the mark there,
it was
but
all, it was all like, oh, like they were 2 years ago, like The Force Awakens made like $2 billion. You know, like who produced fucking The Force Awakens? Kathleen Kennedy.
Kathleen Kennedy.
Like, so this idea that she's not like good at her job or
Plus,
whatever
it's not like
is
producer-
not based in fact. Also, like
I mean, in the end, it's not like she directed the film.
I don't know, like she didn't write
She
it,
did write
direct it.
The Kathleen Kennedy did fire the directors of that film midway through the
So, yeah,
product.
she does.
But I don't that's the
Although,
problem.
judging by how the film turned out, it seemed like she made a good call there.
I don't know if she did
I-
because like I would have liked to have seen the comedy that they were making because I don't care about Han Solo and I don't care about Star Wars.
Yeah.
It would have probably been pretty fun and I like those guys. They did the Lego movie, didn't they? They were it was those two
Also,
guys. I
yeah,
feel like they did the
yeah.
Lego movie. Aren't they the 22 Jump Street people? 21 Jump Street?
Possibly.
Maybe I might be wrong, but they did the Lego movie and that's an incredible film and I like the comedy in that. So. They probably would have made a good Star Wars comedy. It was just that they probably weren't hired to make a Star Wars comedy.
I think that's it.
But like,
yeah.
why would you hire these comedy guys who make comedies if you didn't want them to make a comedy?
I mean,
Seems
the
a bit
Russo
mad.
brothers are comedy guys.
Are they? What did they do? If we say
Arrested
white,
Development.
right? Are they the Arrested Development people? Of
Yeah.
course they are. Yeah, because that Arrested Development trucks in the airport scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't write for, or they directed it.
Aye.
But yeah, I guess, comedy director.
Aye.
I thought you were going to say they did White Chicks. I don't know why I'm thinking about White Chicks, but
Yeah.
the
I didn't know they directed the rest of the episodes until like I
I
watched
mean, they
those
did like
episodes
most
back.
of it.
Yeah, they did a lot, and they're like, Rousseau.
oh Rousseau.
I can just imagine Jason Bateman just like being in the background of Infinity War.
Jason Bateman. See if they did like a universe reboot and like everybody got recast. I could
Jason
see
Bateman as Hawkeye.
Jason Bateman. You took it out of my mouth there. Like that's immediate. Like that seems.
Reasonable.
Yeah.
It does.
Michael Cera as Captain America.
Have you seen Michael Cera or is it Sierra? Michael Cera? Have you seen him recently?
Michael Cera, yeah.
He looks like your dad. Like he is
He's
aged.
balding.
Is he
Like,
balding?
yeah,
Like,
his
I just-
hairline is very definitely receding.
I just saw him. I just saw his face and he just
He's
seemed.
not had a lot of hair. He never had a lot of hair
I
to begin with.
really enjoy.
He did in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen This Is the End?
Is that the
the Judgment Day comes to the Hollywood actors. And it's
isn't
like
that James
playing-
Franco?
Yeah.
Like I
And
don't like
Michael's-
those people, so I've not.
Well, they all play themselves or
Yeah.
parodies of themselves, and Michael Cera's in it as a coke fiend. Or
Yeah.
at least he was going to be a coke fiend. And I like that image of Michael Cera just being like ravaged by cocaine.
Michael Cera like seems like a Shia LaBeouf type man that's held it together.
Yeah.
Like we know about Shia LaBeouf's troubles, but we don't know about Michael Cera's troubles. Like
what is Shia LaBeouf up to there?
he's
live
streaming
every,
as we are. Like he's
he's
got a
live
rival
streaming
stream.
every second of Trump's presidency.
Like I can imagine he's like hacked into like a proxy VPN business type thing, and he's watching this stream,
He's on
but
that
making
dark
sure
web.
that we're not, making sure he can't be tracked.
He's
so he
making.
can, like feel us out.
He's getting
Track
the
the
Patreon money to
competition.
replace his teeth that he pulled out in Fury.
Oh, Shia, we love you.
We do. Even Stevens was a good time.
Even Stevens was a
Holes
great
is an
time.
incredible film. I've watched Holes.
I've watched those. I've read the book.
I watched Holes in English
Yeah.
like once. It was one of those films.
Is it Sigourney Weaver the villain of Holes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Is John Voight in Holes?
I don't know. I saw it
Maybe.
once.
Hmm. Someone's gold is involved in Holes.
Yeah, they dig a lot of holes.
Yeah.
Holes is when Disney were doing like live action movies.
Yeah.
They're still doing live action movies. You know, I've seen their commitment to remaking
Ah,
every
yeah, but
princess
it was
film.
like original
Yeah, aye.
live action movies.
Yeah, Disney's trajectory is really weird.
Yeah. Holes taught me that child labour is totally fine.
Child labour's the way to go.
Child prison labour
Yeah.
is
What was the reason that Shia LaBeouf had to be sent to Holes? Because
Was there not someone in school? Like
Was
did
he-
someone in
was he-
school?
for some reason it involves shoes. I think.
I can't
was there a
remember.
misunderstanding, or was he a problem child, or did they think he was a problem child, so they sent him to Holes?
Something like that.
And then there was those like super killer lizards in Holes.
Yeah.
Like
it was
if you got bit or stung or licked or something by the lizard, you die.
And then they all had a communal shower in the open, which feels quite, child rapey.
Was there a ghost in Holes?
No, there's a flashback type situation, and
Someone got burnt. Was there like a witch burning in Holes?
no, there was never a witch burning in holes.
Didn't
I can't.
There-
All I
there's
can
a slave-
remember about it is like the poster with the hole in it, like and it's vaguely orange. So there was a lot. Of
Yeah, there was a
orange in
lot
that
of
one.
orange in Holes.
There's a
Was Dewey from Malcolm in the Middle in Holes?
probably.
I feel like there was a younger character in Holes that reminded me quite a lot of Dewey.
Whatever happened to like the guy from
Frankie Muniz.
Frankie Muniz.
He got old.
He did that Ask Me Anything on Reddit a couple of years back.
That's how you know their careers just dive bomb.
He's having a good time actually. He's just like really enjoying life.
Yeah,
Fair play. He's probably got enough money to live.
Apparently he's like best pals with Bryan Cranston.
but you would be. You would be if you spent. How many years did Malcolm in the Middle go on for? Like
I don't know, but Bryan
5.
Cranston apparently has a really cool website where it's
BryanCranston.net.
Yeah.
Bryan Cranston have a Patreon.
Probably.
Bryan Cranston really looked like he enjoyed marketing the hell out of that Power Rangers film where he played Zordon.
That was great.
Like
Do you remember when he was the Red Ranger at the start of that film?
he really
like-
loved being in Power Rangers.
He did, and he played like a morally conflicted Zordon. He was kind of using them.
Didn't
to,
want
like,
to use child soldiers, but had no choice.
Yeah, and like
Why did they have to be children again?
no, I didn't. They were teenagers. I mean, they were all 45, appropriately enough for like Power Rangers.
I mean, I know at least in the TV show, he specifically wanted teenagers. With
He does say
attitudes.
that, and I thought that was just part of the marketing or like the opening.
Yeah.
But in the actual episode, he says like it's even worse than teenagers with attitude. It's like more. It's like he makes like a joke about like teenagers in general, and then
They're expendable.
yeah, red shirts. Peace conferences will come and go, and like just clear the field of Rangers. Yeah.
Rangers 2 when though?
It's happening. Hasbro owns Power Rangers now, and they're making a film. I think it's for next year or the year after. I don't know if it's going to be connected to.
The Hasbro Extended Universe. I look forward to that.
You joke about that, but they tried that in the comics, and it basically killed IDW Comics because they had the Transformers and they put GI Joe in, which they always do, but they also put in like Action Man and Visionaries and Micronauts, if you know what those are. And like 12 other things, and then like it just befuddled. It became like a mess, and then now IDW are having, or I say having, but they're making.
We need to talk about Telltale.
We do need to make-
collapsing.
I've never played a Telltale game as the thing,
No,
so
but like they were every license. They had every license. And
apparently
they
Game of
expanded
Thrones
way
didn't
too
make
quick.
money for them.
And like they had all sorts of tech debt that built up, which meant they couldn't make games anymore because their engine was just fucked.
That Telltale engine, though, to be fair.
And now
See, the
they
problem-
no longer exist.
the pro-
like,
They no
they're all
longer
like-
exists.
Yeah, they no longer. They only have 20 employees in there.
The part of the problem
And
is
people
that
are like,
they-
oh, no, I'm pretty sure they're just there to wind down the company.
Yeah.
They don't even know if the last season of Walking Dead's gonna come out.
Didn't it? I saw trailers for it.
Yeah, no,
Assume
but
it's-
yeah.
Yeah.
It's meant to be coming out this week, so they might get episode 1 out, but people don't seem to think
Oh,
it's
it's
finished.
at
'cause
the
they
start
fired,
of it. I
they
see.
fired all the staff that were working on it.
Maybe it's already done, but maybe that's a gross.
The developers seem
Yeah.
to think it very much wasn't done.
Right.
They didn't know
Well,
what was
it's
going to
probably
happen.
I've seen
with it.
developers cutting loose and being like, "I did all this overtime and they never paid me." Like,
Yeah.
it's probably been written at least.
American employment laws are fucked. Like, if they can
Mm.
just, like, they can just fire people.
I can
like,
tell-
no,
I can
no
tell you the problem.
severance, no.
I can tell you the problem with Telltale right now.
Like, clear your desks, you have 5 minutes.
Get your boxes ready.
Get your boxes ready.
They did good stuff. They had lots of licenses. The problem
Sam, they brought back Sam and Max. That's how they
Oh,
made
Yeah.
they
it.
did, didn't they? I
But
forgot about that.
they just couldn't do something that stuck. The only thing that stuck was The Walking Dead. And don't get me wrong, The Walking Dead season 1, fucking
I
incredible.
feel like even their
The Walking
less
Dead makes money though. Do you remember in the comic shop Banjax how you just always had Walking Dead?
Yeah,
There's
people
always
there's
normal-
always someone who came in and asked
normals
for
were
it.
like, "Oh, have you got Walking Dead?" He's like, "I haven't."
I
I've got
haven't,
what issue like trade number 1, or you could have trade number 1 that is also 2 trades because
Yeah.
this is the one that sells.
Increase your average selling price on season 1.
KPIs.
Yeah. Don't talk to me about KPIs.
But that's the thing. They only had The Walking Dead really to go on because they did Tales from the
They
Borderlands.
had like Batman. I feel like
That's the thing. They had Batman. They had Tales from the Borderlands. They had Minecraft. They had Fables. Which
I
is
feel
another
like all
comic
of those
series.
did well, just on a scale that you would never know about, but it was still a moneymaker for them.
Aye.
I think they just expanded too quickly. They probably got cash flow problems. Like,
They're not. The problem is they're not making enough games.
well, they're not going to be making any games now.
Well, they'll spin off. It'll be fine. Like these people always end up starting new companies and all that. No problem.
Yeah.
And all it gets into a big giant legal clusterfuck.
See how Telltale don't exist anymore.
Yes.
Can you still download their games?
Yeah. They'll be on Steam.
Well, you know how like
See, there's this funny thing where if a games developer goes out of business, or even if a publisher goes out of business, the games seem to stay on sale, but I don't know where the money goes.
I'm bringing this back to Transformers
They'll go
because
to the administrators or whoever bought the IP.
whoever owns the IP.
Because when your company goes bust, like they have to
Sell off
pay the
assets,
creditors
yeah.
as much as possible.
Like, well, in that case, Kingdoms of Alamur is owned by the
Oh.
state of Rhode
Yeah,
Island, I think.
No, that's been a saga in the past couple of weeks because. So let's go back to the 90s in a company called THQ.
Oh yeah,
the toy
THQ.
headquarters.
Is
that what it's called?
Yeah,
Huh.
Did not know.
you find out things on this podcast.
THQ Nordic.
Very
is still a
informative.
thing.
Yeah, that's not even all licensed games. But yeah, they went bust in 2012,
They did.
and then
Sad times.
a little known sort of they published like a lot of Euro games.
They
were
published
called,
lots of games.
like no, well THQ, but THQ or Nordic Games. They sort
Yeah.
of like they were growing, and then they bought the naming rights to THQ,
they did indeed.
and then they renamed themselves THQ Nordic.
And they've been
I vaguely know of this. This
Yeah.
is something that
well,
didn't really follow.
And I think they might just have renamed to THQ now. Like
no,
they are
they're
the
THQ Nordic because they've re-released the Darksiders games remastered. They've re-released.
Yeah, and they've been buying up lots of IP.
Yeah.
And they bought Kingdoms of Amalur, the IP, which is a massive political scandal in Rhode Island because the Rhode Island government gave them
funded it.
basically funded basically funded the studio because it had the footballing man behind it. I forget his name.
Madden? John Madden?
No, it was some football.
It was like a guy from like the Red Sox or something.
yeah,
I don't
something like
know.
that. I'm not.
I don't do sports.
But yeah, so now whenever there's a gubernatorial election in Rhode Island, and they're still like
Gubernatorial?
they're still like this. Do you still remember the 38 Studios scandal? Like it's used like it's very much like big government. Oh, I remember that.
And in the middle of all that, Kingdom Hearts alright. Like I would play it. I had it. I played it. It was pretty fun.
What was it like? I've never heard of it.
It was supposed to be
It
an
was like
MMO.
a Skyrim
It did
type.
become
Right.
an MMO, but
It's like a vaguely generic.
it's kind of Fable,
Yeah.
Todd McFarlane style. Todd McFarlane was very involved in it.
Hmm.
Was it Todd McFarlane? No. No. I'm sure he was involved a little bit.
Todd McFarlane, the Spider-Man / Spawn artist. Is this who you're thinking of?
I'm sure it was Todd McFarlane. It was definitely something called Ari Salvatore in it, who might have been Spawn, which makes me think. Of,
yeah, that
which
thinks
makes me
of a
think
thing.
of Todd McFarlane. I had somebody famous involved.
Somebody.
Some guy. But it was pretty fun. Quite
Was it
enjoyed
one of those MMO type things that came out in the wake of? Oh look, there's one person in chat, but that's me. Was it someone that came out? You know, like how WoW was massively successful and then there was thousands of copies. Was it like that, and then?
Well, no, it started off as going to be an MMO. It didn't become an MMO. It just
Right.
it's kind of like.
I think
Fable.
an MMO was in development because
Aye.
the THQ also bought the assets of that game.
It was like a Fable style third person adventure type game with kind of like MMO kind of progression grind to it.
Kill rats.
I'm gonna like stop you in the middle of this. Do we like Fable? Do
I
you
like
like
Fable.
Phils?
I like
I-
Fable 2. And
I
like Fable
1-ish.
2.
Like,
I think Fable.
there wasn't a lot to them. Like, they were kind of shallow, but there's a
Fable
good-
2 was one of the we were talking about this yesterday, where you go to school and someone tells you about a game and you're like, oh, I need to have this right away.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Fable 2, and then I went
Yeah,
into
dog.
Game Station
Yeah.
and got Fable 2. And then I believe I own Fable 3, but it's never came out of the cellophane. Like, I got it one
Fable 3 is
Christmas.
that kind of game. It was just sort of there. Fable 2, yeah, this thing called the dog.
This thing called a dog.
That is
Was it a dog? I don't really.
There's a joke there that you're not getting.
Oh, right.
I'll
You'll clue me in. The things I remember about
Peter
Fable.
Molyneux. Peter Molyneux?
Peter Molyneux,
Yeah.
22 cans,
Goddess.
still exists right now.
Did that guy ever get to be God?
Sort of. I read a whole
There's some
thing.
Scottish lad.
There's a really, really good interview with that guy on, I think it's Eurogamer.
Yeah, I've read it. It's just
Uh,
like he's more bemused by the whole thing.
Yeah, he just doesn't seem to know what's happening because 22 cans are just treating him like a piece of shit.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it seemed cool. Like, I don't really know what's happening.
My brother owns Goddess. I might ask him to like look into seeing what that's all about now.
We should get your brother on the show. I feel like he'd be.
I mean, he could have been here this entire time. We wouldn't know because he doesn't talk.
He's a very strong and silent type.
No.
Very handsome, very bearded. Is he still bearded?
I don't know.
Oh, you've not seen him in a while.
Oh no.
Mm.
I just don't care. I don't look at his beard.
It's too raw and too shining to look at.
No, he has a neck beard.
Oh no!
Oh,
I mean, I'm
no.
getting there.
Does it
I've
go on
been growing
red?
mine out.
It
like-
basically grows mostly there.
Does he grow? Does he go on Reddit?
No, I go on Reddit.
Okay.
What do you do on Reddit? Out yourself on the podcast. Do you complain about Kathleen Kennedy?
No, I don't get this whole idea that Reddit's somehow a cesspit because it's like
Well, it's millions of different
Yeah,
things.
well,
isn't it?
yeah.
but that's why we're asking what you go on Reddit. 'Cause it depends what you go on to.
I mean just ones of relevant to my interest. 4X.
What does 4X do? I don't know anything. I've never been on Reddit.
4X is a genre of games like Civilization.
Oh,
Civilization's a 4X.
is it a graph game?
Yes.
Is it GraphCon?
If it makes you feel better, yes.
Can we go to GraphCon?
Hex squares.
Okay.
Because like,
Hexes are hot right now.
Yeah.
Hexes are the hotness.
our Hex is hot.
Aye.
Like,
Well, I
I
remember
remember
from
like 5
Squares
years
ages ago.
ago.
Hexes are hot.
Like one of the Civs moved to Hex.
Yes.
People lost
Oh,
their
wow.
Oh yeah, they went in Civ 5. They went to hexes and they got rid of stacking units, and it was like the fucking like Korean War, like
I don't know anything about the Korean War. Was the Korean? Because normally you'd say Vietnam, wouldn't you?
I don't know. It was just that was the first one that came to my head.
Have
It
you
was
been
like
thinking about the Korean War lately?
It was like a really controversial war. I don't know.
I literally know nothing about it.
Your dad
The
did.
dad in that '70s show fought in the Korean War.
So did-
That's my like.
So did Frank in Everyone Loves Raymond.
Really?
Yeah,
What?
I think he did. Well, he made a comment about 50,000 screaming Chinamen.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I don't
Britain
think you
was
should have
involved
said.
in the Korean War. We weren't involved in Vietnam, but we were involved in the.
Yeah, for some reason we just
Korean
felt the
War.
need. I think we were just.
Well, that was the post World War II thing.
It was like
Yeah.
you know.
Was Churchill in power in
Oh,
the
no.
50s?
No,
Yeah, he was
Was he?
because he was prime minister from 51 to 55.
I thought he was like chucked out straight after World War
He
II.
He
was,
was.
but he became prime minister again.
Ah,
That,
well,
that used to
that's-
happen back in the day.
That
You
makes,
could lose and then be prime minister. It was
Yeah.
great.
that makes complete sense. Actually, yeah, it was very much him to go like, right, let's go kick these fucking commies up
I
the
mean, he
arse.
was insanely old then, like it was, but he was prime minister.
Did he
again.
die in office?
No,
Right.
he died in the 1960s. There's
Really?
footage
It
of
was
his
in the
funeral.
60s?
Yeah.
Like they
You've
had
told me
like,
this before, but like I can never
they
get
had like
that
a
into my
massive
mind.
state funeral. There's
Yeah.
like the dock men on the like ports of London like lowered
Load
their
the crane.
cranes.
Like they did in the Amazing Spider-Man 1 to get Spider-Man across the divide. Even though he's Spider-Man and can swing between buildings, like
It's funny that Churchill's one of those guys, like, you know, the common man, I suppose, doesn't really know much of outside of in the post-war period. He just kind of disappears from the history books in a sense, at least to the layman.
What, outside of the war?
Yeah.
I mean, to the layman, I get you, because I don't know anything really.
I knew nothing about what he did after the war. I thought he just died.
Well, that's what you would do if you like were this big famous war leader and then you got chucked out immediately and then it's like, oh, I guess I'll just die now. Like,
Yes. Oh, what's that? Nay war with the Soviets? Oh, I guess I'll just die then. I was looking forward to Operation Unthinkable, but well.
Operation Unthinkable.
Yeah, that's what it was called. Yeah.
My favourite World War II mad thing that I learned about on the History Channel was battleships, aircraft carriers made of ice. That was like one of my favourite shows on the History Channel. It was a genuine project to make aircraft carriers out of ice and sawdust. And I don't know how far it got, but I feel like it got far too far along the process for it to not be real.
There is some mad shit in World War II.
Yeah.
They actually made camouflage for ships.
Well,
The stripes.
the stripe patterns, because that's cool.
It means you couldn't tell what angle they were coming at you from.
Yeah, I love stuff like that. I feel like if I get a little bit older, I'll get into battleship culture. You know how you can get into anime girl battleships?
Yeah.
I feel like the older I get, I'm just like, battleships.
I'm really
The film Battleships.
Yeah.
Have we all seen Battleships?
Uh,
You've seen Battleships? Did you see the Battleships in the cinema with us, or was it during your exams, David?
I was during my exams. I never saw it.
Have you never seen
They
Battleships
power
yet?
slide a battleship.
They do power slide a battleship. It's so good. Liam Neeson's there collecting his paycheck. Like, he doesn't get involved with the film because there's like a bubble dome.
Yeah, he
that-
just stands there like going, "Oh, you better protect my daughter."
Yeah. Isn't she like on an island?
She's on Hawaii.
Is it Hawaii?
Yeah. It's very much just Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, it's Pearl Harbor, but with
Alien.
aliens. See when they shot the pegs?
Yeah.
They shot because they are actually playing battleships. And the aliens were really weirdly, like, honourable. Like, they launched a surprise attack against civilians that was weirdly out of character for them, because everything else they did was like...
No, they don't.
They had those spinning disc things that go through a city at one point.
Did they?
Yeah, it's weird. You're reacting like that because it's out of character for these generic aliens in this battleship film. Because everything else they did was weirdly honourable.
Well, it's more
They
widely
lost a guy
Yeah.
to the humans who like captured them and were doing experiments. You know, deving stuff up, XCOM style.
Yeah.
And then they sent their boys in to get them. And then they wouldn't attack civilians.
Yeah.
They had like a predator mask, and they could see who was a civilian and who was like
And all they
angry.
had was arm blades.
Yeah, though they had Omni tools, didn't they? They had like, they didn't have like lasers or anything. They just had
Yeah.
like pop out claw things.
And like, for some reason, they had really slow naval battles. Until it got to the point where genuine World War II naval veterans had to fire up the USS Missouri.
Yeah, it's that plot.
Wow.
Like it's so good, and it's even better than that because they're like, what are we gonna do? Like this thing hasn't been like turned on in 40 years, and they like turn around and then just old men appear, like, and they're like standing on. I want to say mass, but like
And one of
it's
them's
not-
in a wheelchair.
Yeah, and he's like, let's get this thing going, boy, and like an old man says something to Rihanna because Rihanna's in that
Yeah.
film.
She's fine in it.
She's
She's
yeah.
there.
She is there. People made a lot of it. Like, oh, Rihanna's a child actress. She was in a battleship film. Like she's
What
not
do you want?
she's not trying to win an Oscar. Like
Yeah, she just played her role and that was it. She collected that paycheck.
she I don't even know if she did. Got paid. She just turned up and was like, oh, battleship. Yeah.
And then they did a power slide in a battleship.
That power slide in the battleship was so good.
Yeah.
I remember laughing out loud in the cinema. And we right after this, Mr. Bean's Holiday and then Battleship because it is on Netflix. I know that for a fact.
Right, come on, 80 and 70-year-old men. We're gonna power slide this 70-year-old battleship. Let's do this. Man the guns.
Should we finish up? I kind of just want to watch a film.
You know, I feel like we're on a good thing now. Keep going until the battery dies.
This
It's
is
dying
good
anyway.
This is good content. Keep going.
Have you seen this like Peachette? You know how the Peachette's a thing?
Yeah, like Bowser
But did
really
it-
is like
is this
Bowser
happened in-
is Peachette.
Did this happen in the actual thing, or are people just jumping on this? Because like this is not like the art. This is someone's fan art of the art.
What is
I
this?
don't understand.
There's a mushroom that Toadette can take in the new or a remastered Mario
to
game.
become Peach.
To
Like,
become
it's
Peach.
very disturbing.
Who's
and ruined.
Toadette?
Toadette's a female toad.
You know, like the pink
Oh, that's-
toad. Like
Yes.
she's got like a pink toad.
There's no such thing as female toads.
There is.
Yes, there
is no such
She's literally
thing.
called
There
Peachette.
is no such thing as female toads.
Well, there's a character in Mario who can take.
Are we sure they're not transvestite, just like Birdo?
No, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what they are. It's someone can take a mushroom in Mario now and become a Princess Peach like character,
Huh.
and that who isn't Princess Peach, because Princess Peach is also on screen with them.
Oh, good, because that was going to make a very like confusing.
And I've not looked into this. I don't know if I doubt Nintendo's put anything out because they just had a direct. But either someone's done art of this and it's went massive because that's Bowser having taken that Peachette.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
I thought it was like a Kingdom's Heart character.
No, it
Like just.
I don't know. I feel like we're all just sitting here waiting for the Waluigi version of this.
Yeah, but Jim is.
Jim.
Jim loves Waluigi.
Who doesn't love Waluigi? You don't.
I don't like.
I have no
Like
opinion.
You're gonna have to out
I just
yourself
don't really
now.
have like strong opinions really.
It's
Tell us your
Waluigi.
strong opinion. We need controversy on this podcast.
Like it's just a thing that exists in sports games. Like, oh, do we have a viewer?
Yeah,
no,
it's
it's
me.
you.
Yeah.
Where's Shanks?
Shanks
I know
is.
Shanks. Our man Shanks.
There's no university.
He only exists
Where's my Sugly Boogs?
to up the numbers in sports games. That's why.
That's
I'm
why-
gonna move. See,
I have to sit next to me and see if you can hear. Does he though? I think he's moved beyond that.
it's revealed that Shanks is a collective hallucination? Because I could.
Our friend, who is legitimately called Shanks, and or
that's his
Shoot,
name.
that
It's
is
on
lit-
his birth certificate.
it's on his birth certificate. He's a wrestler, and we love him, and we still have a viewer, despite me having closed that window. So
It's probably just delayed.
it's probably just lag, isn't it? Yep, there it goes. As soon as you say it, I've harassed everyone we know with the link.
It's
So
not.
we're just not
People
popular.
just aren't wanting it on a Sunday night.
I know. I guess that's what we've learned.
Bad night for it.
Yeah, everyone's had their roast, their post-roast
It's
coma.
like sleeping, eating dessert.
I ate that whole pizza and I probably shouldn't have.
I mean,
I haven't. Well, I have stood up since then, but I've not thought about it. I'm a wee bit concerned.
I enjoyed my slice. It was hearty.
It was. I don't
Could
think
have done it a wee bit longer in the oven. Was it slightly undercooked? You were one of
I don't know. You were there the entire time we were waiting for it, and we were
I
waiting
feel
for
like
like
you
5
could have used a
minutes.
bit more in the oven. Well, it's
Mm.
weird because they're on a conveyor belt. Like this doesn't affect it. But
Okay, I've got one thing to end with, right? Each of us, what is your perfect pizza?
pepperoni.
Right. What else?
Pepperoni, peppers, maybe some onions.
Because this thing is called Pizza Talk.
Well, I mean, I think it was just because we're talking about pizza.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like pepperoni, some peppers, some onions.
Nothing mad is what I mean.
mad,
Nothing like
just like some.
not like an
some
egg.
veg. Not an egg.
You go to Pizza Punks.
pizza. Is that the place in Glasgow?
Oh, like hot sauce, and like put hot
You'll
sauce
love
drizzle
Pizza
on your
Punks.
pizza.
It's basically just a bunch of ingredients, and you can pick and choose as
Yeah.
many as you want.
Like put buffalo sauce on my pizza, and
You
I
can.
am in happy.
You can put
time.
buffalo wings on your pizza.
Oh man.
Buffalo wings on your pizza.
Yeah.
See, can you get?
With
Are
like a
they
blue cheese.
are they
hot
boneless
sauce.
wings?
I don't know.
Because I wouldn't do that if they were boned. Because that's
I like
just.
mushrooms on a pizza. Not
I
fan-
love mushrooms on
Not a huge
pizza
fan of mushrooms, like
in general.
in general, but I love them on a pizza.
Mm.
I feel this would be a great time to end on the tail of the time we made a pizza. And
We
how-
did make a
and
pizza.
to this day, the kitchen has still got flipper stains that
Yeah. We made a
That'll
pizza.
happen
There was a
one day.
hell of a lot of screaming that day.
How did the dough turn out?
Massive. It was a huge piece of
It was
food.
alive.
That dough is alive. It's
it-
not live cells in it. That's how it works.
You know how when we get loud and start screaming, Amber runs to her room?
Yes.
It got so bad to the point she had to come out to see if we were alright.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Because we were literally screaming the place down.
It was like
Because it started leaking everywhere.
It did start leaking.
You
Um,
put it in a container and then
there
it
was-
was fine.
I mean,
No,
I
you
mean
know
the
how-
oven was a container of sorts.
You
Like,
know how you have to make a well for the water?
Yeah.
I did that and it did not end well.
didn't end well for the
Like,
well.
I had like tumorous growth spilling.
It did not have tumorous growths. You're overcocking it now.
It definitely had growths.
I mean, it itself was a growth.
It was like a benign tumor. Like you know those like videos like when you have the documentaries like the boy had an arse for a face and all that.
Yeah.
And the guy's got like tumors the size of your fist. It was like that, but like made of dough.
Did Mar get that from us being live? Why
I
is he
don't
not
know.
watching?
Live
Because
is
you
backwards.
posted, we're
is
live, and then did he just realize that and then not watch us?
I can't believe
Mar,
it. Mar.
Kathleen Kennedy.
Did Mar.
Mar.
Did Mar. I don't know.
Marlene Kennedy.
Marlene
Well,
Kennedy.
What's your favorite pizza?
I really like.
Eggs.
See, I really
bread.
I want to make a mad pizza one day, I want to make a pizza and then put an egg on it. Like,
I
just have an
can
egg
see
in
how
there.
that would be good.
I didn't do it today out of respect for yous, but I normally put mayonnaise on my
You
pizzas.
fucking white person.
I love it. Japan told me about it because Japan puts mayonnaise on everything, and I was like, I really got into mayonnaise, so I was like, I'll put it on the pizza.
You've
It-
only now just got to.
2018 really got into mayonnaise.
You've been into mayonnaise forever.
That's like because I feel like there was an article about how millennials don't like mayonnaise.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know.
Where do you keep getting all this information about millennials?
Millennials also don't like fabric softener. Like
Or
I
diamonds.
don't know what fabric softener is.
You don't know what fabric softener is?
I don't use it. Like I know what it is. I don't use it.
We use it all the time. It's like purple. Makes your clothes nice and soft.
You're apparently against all the millennial opinions.
Are we really millennials? I mean,
We
a
are.
millennial is someone who's like in their late teens.
We're too old. For
No,
millennials.
that's the thing. They're not millennials.
No,
Like,
they're like the
they're like Gen Z.
Neo millennials.
Neo Gen.
Next
like,
gen.
Like they're
millennials.
like
They're the
Millenn-
We need to come up with
the
a Fortnite
definition of
designation.
millennial still remembers like a time before like the iPhone and
Mm.
everyone having the internet. Like the current youth generation very much don't.
Oh yeah,
You know
absolutely.
what's weird? In primary school, you now get bullied for not sitting in on a weekend playing Fortnite.
That sounds horrifying.
Yeah. How the tables have turned.
Mm.
Yeah, so I was like, you play video, you don't play outside, you need to play football.
Football.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know.
Is there Fortnite stickers you can collect?
The
I'd be
problem
all
is,
go- yeah,
no, I
yeah.
just find it weird. Like that's the thing
Fortnite
now. Like,
things and cereal.
I wish there was things like
Yeah.
post Brexit when everything collapses. I'm going to be out there making my.
Is that an EU
Maybe.
regulation?
See if it
you
is.
Can't have things in cereal.
See if it is, I'm voting leave. Like, because I need things to be in. Like, Trump is president. The world is a hellscape. How are you not giving me things
well,
in
to
cereal?
be fair, that's only got there's only a couple of years of that.
I know, but like
and then when that's all done and done, we'll be like, mind that time Donald Trump was president. How weird was that?
that 8 years that Donald Trump was president,
Could be only before.
I
It
think
might
it's going
only
to
be
be.
2 more years.
Like he could end now. He could be impeached.
You could.
Well, a lot of
Impeached.
American presidents have been
The
assassinated.
midterms are in like a month or 2.
Are they? That's
Yeah.
good. That's good. That kind of weakens him, doesn't it? But doesn't.
If he loses the House and the Senate, then yeah.
Mm.
American politics is really confusing. I
There's
don't know.
There's talk of Ted Cruz being in trouble in Texas, which is
I did see that.
madness.
Yeah, Ted Cruz.
He's up against
What?
some guy,
Human, like homunculus Ted
the
Cruz.
Zodiac killer.
Zodiac killer.
Yeah, yeah. Human homunculus. I like that.
Human homunculus Ted Cruz Zodiac
Doesn't
killer.
isn't he one of the politicians / Fox News broadcasters that looks like a Thunderbird's puppet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He looks like a
Yeah,
fucking
He's
He
like a
sorta
Tracy
does.
brother.
He's got a really weird he's got a really weird voice.
I've never heard Ted Cruz speak. Ted Cruz.
He doesn't speak language of mortal men, to be fair.
Right. I thought I was going to end on the pizza, but see last night, after we did the podcast, I had a terrible and dark thought. You know what I'm really looking forward to buying? Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu.
No.
What are your feelings on the matter,
What is
David?
that?
What is that? It's a new Switch game.
Is that the one where Diary of the Beatles song?
No, Danny DeVito is Detective Pikachu.
Ah.
This is basically a Pokemon game, but with light Pokemon Go mechanics bolted
What do you
on.
mean light Pokemon? It's like all Pokemon Go mechanics. That's all it fucking is. It's a deeply, deeply misguided move for that franchise.
You say that.
And I don't think it'll have the result that they want it to. I don't think that crowd is interested in buying a Switch.
I think that
I
as
don't think they
well.
are.
But I have had anecdotal evidence where people are looking into buying a Switch just for Let's Go.
Oh no, there will be. They will be. There'll be a
I-
certain category of there'll be a
Well-
there'll be a certain percentage of people who will be deeply disappointed when they find out what that game is.
Oh,
Well,
aye,
Pokemon is still such a cultural phenomenon and money-making machine that they can afford to take a risk.
See Saturday.
Because
See
if-
yesterday. I was at work and I had a look out, and the Pokemon Let's Go crowd was out, and they were massive and they were mobilized. They were like moving through the street.
That's the thing.
Raiding.
They're interested in playing
Raiding as they
Pokemon
go.
Go.
Pokemon
They're
Go's
not
still a
like,
thing.
Yeah.
yes, they're interested.
Shiny
in playing Pokemon Go,
weekenders.
though. They're not interested in fucking gated gym. They don't care about. They care about gyms in the real world. They don't. These people don't care about the Viridian gym.
The Viridian Gym.
But that's fine. So see if it fails. They'll just release Pokemon fucking
Well, that's the thing.
Pokemon P and shit.
How
and
would
they'll
you
be fine.
feel if you went to Brock with like a fighting type Pokemon,
Mhm.
which is good against rock?
Right.
It's,
But then, yes,
I never.
I'm
but
pretty
yeah.
sure.
Well, you
it's-
break
it's
rocks,
maybe
don't you?
catastrophically wrong on.
It's ground and water that's good against rock. No, grass, water, and ground.
And this is an admission live on the podcast, I've never known what's good against what other than the cardinal fire beats grass and grass beats water. Like, see, once you get beyond that, I'm just like, what? Fire beats everything. Like, you can boil, like,
I mean,
water, you can, like...
You can literally just use
When
any
you
of
go in the
those.
gym and the guy's like, you need to have this Pokemon before, like.
Well,
fuck
we don't know
that.
that yet. Maybe you just need
I feel
that
like all
Pokemon
the
to
gym-
unlock the gym.
I believe that is the case.
But you might not need
even
to use that
is
Pokemon.
what if you don't want to catch it?
A lot of the things, and then the reason I guess triggered you on this was just to trigger you on this,
The whole
to
point is
generate
you
the
gotta catch them
controversy,
all.
to make the podcast happen. But like, it looks like they've kind of kidified Pokemon or made it more.
Kidified Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly.
They've made
They
Pokemon
very much have.
kid-friendly.
They've ruined all the wonder from it. They've ruined all the like let's not forget, in Pokemon Red, you needed a Pokemon because it was unsafe in the tall grass.
It was unsafe.
Now, in 2018, the Pokemon just fucking stand there.
See, I
They
think
just stand there, waiting to be caught with that shit minigame that no one asked for and is garbage.
I think that it will do quite well for them, and I think it will ship
Of course, it's got
consoles
the
for
name
them.
Pokemon in it.
Yeah, like it's not going to do badly, and I think it might even do incredibly well because that Pokemon Go stuff, like even though people that buy it probably won't enjoy it, they'll still buy it.
And
'Cause-
it's all
I'm not
ours.
gonna,
Yeah.
I'm not
and
going
like
into them.
I think a lot of the things that personally trigger you on it are like
That-
things that definitely do matter, but in terms of a kind of casual Pokemon game, because it is for the filthy casuals. And
I
like,
think people like catching. I think people like that aspect of catching. I think people like catching wild Pokemon. I think people like getting their health down and catching them because it feels like you achieved
Yeah,
something.
I really did
rather
like
than
Pokemon Go.
fucking throwing a Pokeball at a Pokemon that just stands there. I cannot stress enough how it just stands
Wait, so
there.
you didn't even battle them anymore?
No,
You
there
only
are
bat-
no
you battle
wild
against
Pokemon
trainers,
battles.
don't you?
Battle against trainers. That's the only battling
What?
in Pokemon Let's Go
See,
Eevee
I-
and Pikachu.
I wasn't.
It's the only battles.
Pokemon's been going towards this even before Pokemon Go, though, because every generation they've made it easier and easier. Remember when they introduced XP for catching Pokemon?
Yeah.
Like each generation, they've been iterating on it to make it more casual.
I mean, in practice,
You can't get
a
more
lot.
casual.
In practice,
But you can apparently.
Unless
Okay,
rare candies
in
become
practice, a lot of
microtransactions.
Pokemon you can just catch and sit. I fully accept that.
Nah.
But what is this game going to do about legendary Pokemon? How are you going to catch
Legendaries will just be
Is
like
Mewtwo
events. They'll be.
gonna
It'll be
fucking
like,
stand there.
I bet it'll be like a cutscene where like Mewtwo does some things. Maybe you fight him like it is a trainer battle.
But why can I just not do it like it's a trainer?
Like
Why is that?
maybe
not-
Giovanni will be there. Maybe like. The thing that happened though is this game got announced, and you know how
It looks like crap as well. Like, why is
You
it
say
Kanto?
that.
No, fuck it. They've done Kanto so many times.
They've
It
done
looks
them-
like shit. It looks like it looks like grid-based 3DS game. Like, give me some height. Give me some scale. Pokemon Sun had that, where like there was routes on level and they
X and
looked
Y had that,
around.
didn't they?
Yeah, yeah. Like these games, like obviously they're like technically like the animations, like you know, looks. It looks bad. Like it looks bad. Like you think, oh, we have a Switch now. We can update the geometry of Kanto to not look like a fucking Game Boy game. But they haven't even done
I
that. There's some like fucking religious obsession with Kanto looking like it's from 1995.
Well, that's content in general because like
Saffron City's supposed to be massive. It's like six fucking. Why?
I wonder if there'll be gambling in this one and
No, they
Yeah.
removed that. They removed that. a long
they remove
time
gambling. And the other thing, I saw this on the Twitch, not Twitch, the Switch news thing. They announced that Jesse and James are in it because you know how it's a remake of the
Yeah,
album,
yeah,
and
basically.
they showed some Jesse and James footage, and Jesse and James look like Jesse and James. I've always liked Jesse and James's black outfits. You know, in the
Yeah.
Pokemon cards, they always look cool, and it always doesn't look as great when they're in the white. But they announced them, and in the same announcement, they announced that is it HMs that are the getting about moves,
Yeah.
the hidden machines.
Yeah.
They announced that those are locked to Eevee and Pikachu.
That is fucking heinous.
I mean,
Like, what if I wanted to? Who surfs?
Well, Pikachu will have a wee surfboard probably, and like.
And why would I want to give Pikachu his weak
Well,
to water
but-
a water?
but I
same
doubt-
type at- what
But I
about
doubt
same
their
type
moves
attack
now.
bonus?
But I doubt their moves. Like,
Surf's one of the best moves in Pokemon. It's a
Maybe-
100% hit rate because it's a fucking wave.
Mm.
And it's got really high attack.
maybe like Pokemon will come with moves.
I
Maybe that's
think-
the next thing they'll announce.
we-
Maybe like they'll have set moves where you don't have to like
So
trade them
only
out.
Pikachu can learn to. Surf has the same type attack bonus. Are they getting fucking rid of that as well?
Probably.
Are they getting rid of like?
There's an entire thing like there's entire because I don't play Pokemon games. I don't know if we play them the same. I don't know if you do all the like hidden content in Pokemon games. You know all the
hidden content.
well, there's that disease that you can give Pokemon to make them level.
Pokeross.
You know about that.
You can't get. You just get lucky.
You get lucky, but you know that exists in the mechanics of the game.
I
know-
bet
I
it
know
would
it's a
exist
very-
in this game.
Yeah,
I
but
know
I've
it's a
never
very deep competitive scene.
a deep but I've never played Pokemon like that. I've just
I'm
played that.
actually
Like,
against Pokeross.
aye, but you know there's stuff like that in Pokemon.
Aye, that's insanely cool. Like,
it's cool, but like I've never played it for that or with the knowledge that that's a thing.
Like people
I've
get
never
into,
actually
like,
caught a
EVs
shiny.
and IVs. Like, but I kind of don't like that stuff because you know what determines how a Pokemon levels up. It's what Pokemon you get. Oh, I don't know how this is. So,
Mhm.
like, it's what Pokemon you kill in battle.
Has that always been the case, or was
That's
that
how it
added?
determines this. It was sort of like that in Gen 1, but it really like Gen 3 sort of solidified it.
Mhm.
The stats you get when you level up your Pokemon determine what Pokemon you made faint.
Right.
And then Pokemon all have like their values to start off with, and some are better than others. And they have
Yeah.
natures
And the
that
abilities
changes one of the
and
stats.
yeah, yeah. I've
So
only
EV training
really
is basically like you find the Pokemon that make your that give you the stats to make this Pokemon
This-
like ideal.
my point is like I've always played Pokemon like a filthy casual, so them making it more filthily casual doesn't really affect me that
See,
much.
you have to remember, Pokemon is so casual that Twitch completed it.
That is one of humanity's greatest
It is-
achievements.
I
was not there for it
I
happening.
loved that week. It was one of the
That-
greatest weeks of my life.
When it was on this week, when the end credits of this week with what's his
Twitch
face,
plays Pokemon.
Twitch plays Pokemon, Andrew Neil
Like
and Twitch plays Pokemon together at last. But and then like that, I wasn't there for the ending of Twitch plays Pokemon. I was there for All Terrain Venomoth defeating Lance.
Yeah.
Like that moment
It's
was just euphoric. We've got a viewer because we're talking about Venomoth. Lads!
ATV, like I forget, like all the other
80
Pokemon were dead.
Oh, like or released it. Yeah, they're all dead. And then like
80, I forget exactly how it works. The like
was it Dragonite? Dragonair? I can never remember which
I think
one's
like
which.
Dragon, like I think
The
I
big
think,
one.
I think it was Dragonite had like a problem like hitting or something. Like
Yeah.
its moves didn't work against.
Doesn't Venomoth have like like a smoke screeny kind of thing?
Yeah, like its accuracy was really low. I think
Yeah.
that's what
Was
it
it
was.
sound attacking
Yeah,
or
it was
something?
sound attacking.
Our beer's gone now. Love to meet you.
They could like cut that together and make a Oscar worthy.
Oh,
my
yeah,
my
absolutely.
favourite GIF of all time is Twitch plays Pokemon. That stream of Ash or Red moving about like left, right, up and down, intercut with scenes from the Digimon movie where the kids from all around the world are furiously typing away at the computers to save the internet from the evil. That is one of the best GIFs that has ever been made.
I remember there was like it was stuck at a certain point for a day. It was that point.
There was
where
it the
like,
Rocket
it was
Gym,
the Rocket Gym,
and they
the
introduced
Rocket
democracy
base.
and anarchy.
Yeah, because they couldn't get out of the spinny,
loop.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that the eye? Yeah.
spin pad, ground pad.
How
A
the
lot-
hell did they do the psychic gym?
It was because
Sabrina.
they did like anarchy and democracy. How did democracy work?
I
again?
don't know how it worked. Did they just vote on their moves? Or, like-
It was like a vote. That's what it was. Yeah, it was like instead of like every move being entered, it was like you did like a one move per vote.
one vote per move.
It was like a voting period, and then the one that won was the people that most.
And people say there's no hope for humanity.
Aye,
And
like
that
a lot of the
comes along.
time I think about going back and playing Red and Blue because that's one of our definitive childhood and defining games.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but then
So,
but the proper and like put it on the TV with the Super Game Boy and the SNES. Have you still got that? I
I
need
gave it back to.
you give it back to me. I don't know where it is, but I'll need to do that and play it again. But then I remember that the world has played it. Like it happened. We achieved that together. I didn't touch any buttons, but I was there. Like we cheered that. We made that happen.
It was like,
command in the final battle.
It was like the master episode of Doctor Who when everyone thinks about the Doctor.
See,
We
that's like
come
another hour
together.
where we can
That
shout,
way,
because I will defend that episode.
No.
I will die on the hill of people praying for the Doctor.
No, that's
Like-
what I'm saying. That's what we did for Pokemon. We came together and went, we can do it. We can do it.
We can make this happen. Damn it.
Just think there's people who wasn't even born when that happened.
They're making better content than this.
You're gonna have to like tell your kids about this. Like,
Oh,
10 years
absolutely.
from now.
Wee Billy, gather round.
Sit down on my knee, Reggie.
I'm telling you about the Pokemon Wars
Oh.
of 2K. Okay,
What?
was it
I
13,
just really
14,
see
15?
kids, see kids who are like, if any like kids watch this series of Doctor Who, like
Mhm.
young kids, like anyone who's less than 13 years old,
Uh-huh.
they wouldn't have been alive.
Like,
Like
oh,
kids today wouldn't have been alive when New Who started.
that's terrifying. I feel very old. They won't know how Dayglow it was.
Yeah.
Like we've sitting and been like, oh, this Jodie Whittaker. I don't know how she's not got the Dayglow
This
tubes
is
going everywhere. Like,
Seriously distress you. There will be people who are 13 years. There will be people who are 13 years
13
old
years old,
when this series airs who
old enough to buy a gun.
who were born after series 1 aired. and
If I
they're
think about
13
that,
years old.
If I think about that, oh, that. But I can turn my brain off. I can turn that switch and not think about
The
it.
kids who were born when New Who started are going through puberty.
That's new. Season 1 does feel that long ago.
It kind of does actually.
Like season 1.
Just when you think, there's a lot of like long form projects out there that when you think about it, kids are like going to grow up and it's not going to be a big deal. Like to circle it back, you've got Doctor Who, of course, that's been on for ages. There being a woman doctor is not going to be a big deal to them because there's always been a woman doctor. What the fuck you on about?
Yeah.
Let's have to flip, like for example, to use other cultural cornerstones, Marvel.
Well, the thing,
Marvel.
Marvel.
Old, like, oh, I didn't have to wait 10 years.
That's the thing with Marvel. Marvel does get me because a lot of there's those memes where it's like the kid watching a film and he's like looking up in awe, and it's like Iron Man 1,
Ah.
and then the next one's like an old the young adult looking up at awe, Infinity War. And I guess that is me. I guess I was young when Iron Man 1 came out, but I still
was
feel
16.
yeah, we're 16. We feel sentient.
Yeah.
Like that isn't a childhood film to us. It wasn't like a half of our life spent watching the Marvel films.
It's
Although I guess it's coming up to that.
That's just your fact that we won't have to wait for it.
Yeah.
Or to use a more personal example, this is more.
I remember when they announced Black Panther, and like all the boards were like, "Oh, what? I'll be in college when Black Panther comes out." Like what? I'm already like an old man. Like it'll be next week when Black Panther comes out to me.
Oh no.
Like for example,
We've got a viewer. That's great.
this is more of a personal thing that you probably won't relate to, but they finally released part 3 of the final episode of Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
Really?
Like the whole chat was going to be that season 3 is the last season, and that's been 10 years of been doing that.
I need to check back in with DBZ Abridged because it was good.
It's mostly done.
Is it
They
mostly?
said,
But they've got
season four-
Super to do.
Well, they said Imagine do it, but I don't know if they're ever going to do it.
I really loved the cell fights
Aye.
that you showed me. Like the Ken one was great.
Yeah. There's
The
a guy.
People's Ken.
the-
Oh my god! And we need to get that Fist of the North Star PS4 game
Yeah.
because like Jim was saying, it is just Yakuza, and that's like two of my favorite things mashed together.
No, it's like another thing that's been happening to me recently.
Yeah.
Is a comic series ending.
What comic series? Oh, Invincible ended, didn't
Invincible ended, which was genuinely like a painful moment for me.
it? Yeah, like didn't end well though.
Like it ended spectacularly.
Yeah.
It ended perfectly. It couldn't have had a better ending if it tried. But it's just the fact that like I read the first half of the issue on the way to work.
uh-huh.
I got to work and then I read the last few pages in my car after work, and I just sat for 5 minutes and I was like, "That's it. It's done."
You had a wee cry now.
Yeah, 5 years of my life, and that's it.
Was it 5 years? Was it a good
No, it was longer than that even. Sorry, it was about 10, 12 years.
Jesus.
It
Yeah, I've read the first volume of Invincible, and it does look really good.
is really good.
But you know how I'm really slow at reading media.
Yeah, and like
Painfully slow.
there was other ones. There was
Didn't Chew end? You were well into
Chew
Chew.
ended. Chew, that was a shame because Chew was incredible.
Isn't David Tennant voicing someone in a Chew film?
Apparently, yeah.
Isn't that
He's-
happening?
He's voicing Savoy, which is a good choice. He's a big, like, articulate Stephen Fry type. There was other stuff because fuck, that's terrible. It was Assassination Classroom.
Did that end?
Yeah.
Did it end?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, Oh, it was beautiful.
Was it good?
It was beautiful how it
You need
ended,
to load me your Assassination Classroom because I think I've got volume 1
You
somewhere.
do.
Yeah.
And you've got like my German copy.
I
of
could just
Holiday.
read German borrow. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it ended and it was great and I totally recommend it.
Is One Punch Man still on the go?
I don't know. I know that it's.
I've seen some Japanese volumes that I think are still coming out.
I
So
don't know if the Japanese ones are still coming out.
season 2's happening like this year, I want to say, or early next.
Finally.
Yeah.
But no, English, I'm up to date in English translations because they're slowly releasing them.
There's a new one coming out that's out in print now called Doctor Stone. That is this Shonen Jump thing where the apocalypse happened and everybody turned to stone,
Ah.
and the gimmick is the main character's a scientist and a shonen guy and going about unstoning people, like breaking them out of the stone and then building up a society. You know, it looks very graph heavy, if you know what I mean, in kind of civilization terms. But yeah, Michael really likes that. Our friend Galen, who we'll have to have on the show at some point, really into. He reads the manga online. He's one of those people.
One
One of those filthy people that you probably would be if you were into like.
I just don't like reading stuff on screens.
It's not the same.
No, plus I like to have a collection.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
it kills space, but you know that instinct to hoard things, which
Yeah.
has been preparing us for Brexit. You have to give us that. Like I'll be able to burn all of our comics to keep warm in the coming years.
When there's no power.
When there's no power, when the 3-day working week returns, when we have to reopen the mines.
Rolling brownouts throughout the country.
Oh no!
Oh God. I feel like we're on to a good tangent there with Doctor Who. I'm going to announce now that we're going to do a Doctor Who cast.
Yeah,
I'm going to lock you
yeah.
into this.
Why we don't watch Doctor Who?
You're coming round
We're
to our
gonna
house,
have to watch Doctor
or we're going
Who.
to go to someone's house and watch Doctor Who, and we're going to do a cast after it.
You know
Because
what?
damn, the views will be good on that.
You know what?
It will be. Like I think that's a niche that we can. I think that'll work. Like if we're diligent about it and we get our tags,
Every time.
But hasn't
we're
Stuart,
diligent about it. We get our tags right.
Tags.
But hasn't Stuart cornered that? You know, the ones?
He Who Moans,
Yeah.
Stu Bagfull. Yes, but we won't be doing it with stick figure men, so it'll be fine. And neither of us sound like Garth Marenghi.
Yeah.
So there's a guy we should watch on YouTube.
He's really good, actually,
he's
yeah.
really-
Like we can post it to our socials.
We can link our socials in there. We can get stuff done.
I'd love to get a guest star on.
Hey,
Yeah.
me and some
I'd
friends.
like
Hey,
former guy on.
me-
He's in Japan currently.
Is he?
me and
Yeah,
some
him and
friends-
Sean are in Japan.
Me and friends.
Skullman.
Me and some friends
He's one of
got
these guys.
together to talk about the latest Doctor Who.
Hey guys, we've just watched Doctor Who. Here's our hot take minute after it's
Yeah,
played. This is Doctor Who.
takes.
This is Doctor Who Confidential Reborn. We'll just be like,
So it turns out Jodie Whittaker's a woman.
turns out she's a woman, and actually, surprise, surprise, we're massively against that. Like,
Please don't. Well, I'm not
Watch
going
the
down that
episode
route.
of Doctor Who. Yeah.
I'm not going
Ruined
down
it.
that route.
Ruined it. Right. It's retroactively.
you mean you'll not go down the route of hating Worms, but you'll hate Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just because Kathleen Kennedy
Kathleen
famously gets
Kennedy is
views.
to blame for
We
Doctor Who
we
being
have
bad.
special guest in here, David Tennant, who is joining us in hating Jodie Whittaker.
None
Jodie
of, none, of, none of the hate can go towards Chris Chibnall because he's a man.
Chibnall's a man. Chippers, he's out there making man decisions.
Kathleen
Eating
Kennedy.
bacon, beans, writing Cyberwoman.
If,
That happened.
if Doctor Who goes bad, it's not Chris Chibnall's fault.
It's clearly not Chris. The showrunner is not responsible.
It's
No.
entirely that one actress.
It's that one actress that
Yeah.
they hired
The
just
woman.
to progress an agenda.
who they chose to hire.
Oh my god, there was a comment I saw where they were talking about how the agenda in Doctor Who has been pushed, it's been starting to be pushed recently. And this was a recent video.
Have any
They were
seen
talking
that?
about how
I fucking love all these people
They
who
were-
were like, oh, fucking.
they said that under the Stephen Moffat era, under season 10, they were basically complaining about what's her name, Pearl Mackey's character.
Bill.
Bill. They were complaining about Bill because she was a woman and because she was a lesbian, and they were saying this was agenda pushing, and this was something that Doctor Who had gotten into recently, and I
Mate,
died.
Have you ever heard of a man called
Russell T Davis. Oh,
Have you
I
ever
bet Russell
watched-
T Davis gained power from that man. He was just sitting there writing some BBC drama thing, and he's just I'm a little bit stronger now. I could not believe
It's-
that's kind of the tone of these internet people, is that they think that this thing's happening recently, and that's the extent of they're not sitting there just thinking about John Barrowman and everything that John Barrowman did in season 1 of Doctor Who.
Like in retrospect, like that was 2005. Like
Mhm.
them putting like they put like a gay character in Doctor Who in 2005.
They
like,
put
that
an
was incredible.
omnisexual character
Like,
in
that
Doctor
was-
Who. Like that's something that's probably that's maybe the most 2005 thing he could do.
Yeah, I actually feel like making him that was sort of like lessening the blow up.
Probably,
It
yeah.
was sort of like, oh, he's like
He's like a
it's
comedy,
sci-fi.
yeah.
He's not. Yeah.
Like that probably. I'm not qualified to talk about that really. Like
No,
but-
but I feel like making him omnisexual was
Mm.
more acceptable than making him.
Oh
just
yeah,
gay.
probably.
It's
Like
different.
Less
Fine.
scary, it was more
was there
comedy.
actual gay characters in season 1?
No, I don't
there
think
probably
so.
was.
And they're probably what? Yeah, Russell T Davies.
Well,
Russell T Davies, he was
Maybe,
there.
maybe he might have like because
I feel like
they probably didn't want to get rid. You know what I mean? Like he probably didn't want it to be like.
Russell T Davies probably like wasn't there a lot of like Rose's mum talking about gay characters and, like,
that sounds right. That sounds right.
and I feel like I'm overlooking something in season 1 because I feel like there just was because it was cool like that, and there definitely was in later seasons, but yeah,
The Unquiet Dead, did that have?
I don't know, maybe. The Unquiet Dead such a nothing episode though. I'm
There's a lot
sorry.
of nothing episodes in that season.
No, I mean even the nothing episodes in the season were really good. Like Boomtown is like a nothing
Boomtown.
episode, but you fucking love
I fucking
Boomtown.
love it. It's like, well, Boomtown is we got a 13 episode order, but we don't know how to make 13
We don't know how to make
episodes
13
of TV.
episodes, and we spent all our money on the farting aliens.
So,
So
we just have a runabout Cardiff episode.
that's great though. More of them, please.
There's a
I guess that's
nuclear
what
power
Torchwood
station in
is.
the plot, but you never see
Yeah.
it.
Do you remember anything from season 1? You didn't watch season 1, did you? You weren't there in
I've
2000.
seen a bit of it.
Aye.
But I wanted to circle
Eccleston.
back. I wanted to circle back a wee bit back
Yeah.
to the point of like weird internet people taking traditional stuff, sci-fi, very inclusive, very open
Mm.
things, and somehow trying to claim it for right-wing
Yeah.
ideologies. And taking it back to that video I showed you a while back
Mm.
of, and I'm putting quotation marks here for people at home.
Air quotes.
Jean-Luc Picard owns feminists,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like you didn't even have to know the context of the clip
Mhm.
to instantly think to yourself, have these people
Ever
ever
seen Star Trek?
ever seen Star
Yeah.
Trek or Doctor Who or Star Wars
Mhm.
or anything like that? Because the whole point
Well-
of them is they're incredibly inclusive.
The thing about Star Trek is that it is incredible. Like the Federation is like this inclusive thing and like a utopian ideal, but it was made in the '60s.
It was.
So like Uhura was just the phone lady.
No, you're totally right, and I get that.
And I know they had that interracial kiss and everything, and that is spectacular for the '60s. But like, it is coated in like your dad really likes OG Star Trek.
No,
So
you're totally
and
right.
those Klingons were just black people.
You're totally right. You're totally right. I totally agree with you. But the sheer fact of like pushing forward has always been very progressive.
Yeah.
For the time, it's been very progressive.
Mm.
And it's just the sheer fact that people are trying to retcon it to somehow be this right wing. Oh, I'm putting down this goddamn feminazi thing, and it's like, are you that blind with
Yeah.
hatred that you just don't see that you're taking something that you love, that fair enough you're allowed to like it no matter what your political view, but you love it, but you're taking this thing that is undeniably against everything you stand for, and you're somehow managing to twist it still.
It's a terrible. We live in the worst timeline.
No, it's
Like-
it's just it's that weird quirk of human psychology I'll just never understand.
It's bizarre. Like especially the famous Frenchman Jean-Luc Picard, played by Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
Coming back. Do you know it's coming back?
It's coming back. Yeah. Star Trek's not doing too hot because they didn't like the wands in Disco.
Exactly. That's my point.
I don't see Disco. I've got a point about Disco because Disco could have been a really they should have just made Disco about Michael Burnham and what was the captain called?
I've not actually read it or watched any of it yet.
You should watch it. It looks good. It's a visually cool show. It's a bit hit and missy, but they shouldn't have made it about Jason Isaacs. You know how Jason Isaacs is in that show? Yeah, he's the captain, and he's like an evil captain, and Jason Isaacs is
Or you tell me like like an OG like series captain rocks up and he's
Yeah.
a jumper and takes over. And
Well,
he's
that's-
like,
that's
this is Star
the-
Trek now.
But that's the trailer for season 2 is Pike, famous man in a box who
Yeah.
like beeps. He rocks up but is like healed like he is in the films, or not healed, but is pre-injured, and he's there in his big yellow Captain Kirk jumper from like the original series, and he's like, you know how this show has been kind of trying not to be the kind of Star Trek that you know
It's
for a
because-
season. No, none of that. We're just going to go out and explore, and God help us, we're going to search for Spock. That's what we're going to do, and it's going to be fine, and people are going to love it. That Klingon War, didn't worry about it. See Michael Burnham being like this traitorous thing. Let's just no talk about that. Like, maybe we'll do like an episode on it, but like that's not going to be the focus.
Like everything will reset after the episode. It's fine. We're not doing Battlestar anymore. Battlestar's done.
Every episode's going to be an away mission to a planet where there's these giant natives with spears, and we'll get a not Scotty-like character to rig up some phasers to a shuttle to make it fly. That's what the show's going to be.
You get this red shirt on now.
Did you see that tweet about Theresa May?
Can't say how.
It was
Oh no.
Is it the one where she has a mustache?
no, it was a lineup of European leaders, and she was the only one wearing.
She red,
red, and it was like a red shirt.
Looking back and I'm like isolated. She gets into lots of incredibly optically bad shots. Like she clearly has bad advisors.
Or bad luck.
How is our wait, let's put it this way, our second female prime minister, let's
Oh,
not forget that,
That is a cool thing.
still in power.
I mean, I
And
think
also somehow a Tory.
I
Because
don't
no
know.
one else wants to take over
Yeah.
in this mad era.
Well, the thing is, she's
Come
gonna.
on, Jezza!
Jez was the Labour Party conference this
I'm
week.
It is. They're discussing their
just
Brexit.
clear the way.
The Brexit motion is being discussed now, and it's like Corbyn said, "Oh, if the party backs another vote, another referendum, then that's going to be Labour policy," which is a little bit of a movement. But now the thing is, like, they basically take all the motions and merge them into some sort of like
Hyper motion, multi motion.
Frankenstein motion.
Just everyone get out of the way and get this
That probably
unelectable man in
won't.
power.
It'll be like so equivocal. It'll be like, oh, if there's not a general election, then maybe there can be another vote depending on the outcomes of the negotiations.
Basically, the problem is it all comes back to Putin, and this is where Putin wants us. Like it's confused, scared, and alone.
Well,
Like
I mean, he's doing really well at that.
he's doing Putin plays a hell of a graph game.
I saw a book about
Yes.
Putin in Morrison's.
In Morrison's the supermarket.
No, I take that back. Sorry, it was Warstones.
Right.
In Livingston.
That makes a lot more sense. Livy, yeah, big Livy.
And it, aye.
Nice.
Livy?
I was quite often. No, sorry, it wasn't Livy. It was Dunfermline.
Oh,
I'm
Dunfermline.
I'm just getting all my locations mixed up. This is Putin at work.
Putin, yeah, you
Yeah.
don't even know where you are.
He didn't.
You don't know if you're coming or going.
And it was like I couldn't tell if it was being serious or no, because it was like a really kind of like stock photo style pose, like nice background, could be like like middle income England somewhere, and it was just Putin sitting in a chair looking happy, and the title was the most powerful man in the world.
Yeah.
And
you
it
know
was-
that
he owns
guy-
America,
You know that
like-
documentary man who was always on Screen Wipe. I forget his name. We're living in one of his documentaries.
Yeah, I really need to watch his stuff. He said he
Something
had
Curtis.
Oh, the
not
American
Richard
guy.
Curtis, but
No, Ian Curtis. I forget. Yeah, there's like
Barry
a freer.
Shippees.
I don't think it was Barry Shippees or
Do you,
Philomena
do you
Cummings.
think there's going to be a screen,
I turned against
2018 white?
no,
Do
like
you think that was just his
Charlie
excuse to
Brooker.
end it?
Yeah, Charlie Brooker is living on his vast pile of money
Like,
with
he-
many beautiful women.
Like he couldn't announce that he wasn't doing it. He just wanted to end it, so
Yeah.
he came up with a
I've been
we've
very
got
busy.
time this year.
Don't have time.
Let's put it this way: he doesn't need to. I mean, the jokes write themselves.
He's married to Connie Huck.
He's
I mean,
married
he
to
is
Connie
married
Huck.
to Connie Huck. He is the
Black
lu-
Mirror
he-
Millions.
He is genuinely the luckiest man in Britain because he's married to Connie Huck from Blue Peter.
I've never actually saw Blue Peter when it was Connie Huck. I didn't have any context. I knew that.
She
it was...
is a lovely, beautiful woman.
Well, that's
Yeah.
nice for Charlie. It's great that Charlie Brooker's doing
Like,
so well.
he-
I hate him now that he didn't continue his yearly ritual. Like I was very offended. I was deeply entitled to his yearly broadcast, and then he didn't do it, and now I don't support him in anything he
Makes
does.
you feel better. He once ate his own arse.
Did he?
Yeah, you can Google that. It's a picture
Oh,
of that.
did he cut a bit off, or is it like a
Yeah,
contortionist
he lost,
kind of thing?
Well, he lost a bet, so he used to eat his own arse.
What the fuck?
It was back when he wrote for PC Zone. Long live PC Zone. Rest in peace.
PC
I
zone.
love PC Zone.
I came to the
That seems like the dumb fucking kind of thing like 90s British land magazine culture would have you do.
Well,
Yeah.
they were very much they were like a PC magazine, but they were very irreverent in their way of doing things.
Yeah, like
Lads mag.
Lads, like the
I mean,
The
not
Lads
really,
Bible,
'cause
but
there
in
was
print.
Well, not really, because there was a lot.
that was like every magazine.
There was a bunch of female writers in it as well, so it wasn't that Lads Maggie.
I mean, token females.
But,
like,
but they had
that
like,
sounds something like Nuts would do.
But they had like features just like drunk gaming where they just get pissed and write about their experiences.
That's reminds
Is that an episode of Men Behaving Badly?
Yeah.
this conversation reminded me of that bit in Peep Show where Mark wants to become friends with Jeff.
Yeah.
So he gets.
Does he
like,
buy a copy of
nuts and-
Loaded?
Yeah, like nuts.
None of those
or
things
something
exist
like
anymore,
that.
do
No,
they?
they don't. That's another
No.
very of the era.
I mean, there's
And then
not-
he
Mar is basically doing their content for them now. Like, you don't print stuff like that. You just have like a guy that provides you memes.
Huh.
And it's like, oh, is that guy who like ate his own testicle?
Yeah, he's on this. Yeah.
That car, the Ferrari Testarossa.
Testarossa.
And Jeff's just like,
Yeah. I don't know if I got through my announcement, but yeah, we're going to do like a podcast every time there's an episode of Doctor Who.
we did.
Every single time there's an episode. I know it was like half an hour ago, but
We
you're coming, even though you work every hour of the day, and you're coming.
Yeah, I'll be there.
This is one of the few times I'm not. I'm actually at work right now.
You're at work right now.
Yeah, in my mind.
Oh God, just making those deals.
Susan, by the way, if you're needing our kitchen, come back to me.
Susan Bo,
Subo.
Subo.
So,
What a get for your company.
what
I
kind of
get?
kitchen did she buy?
I don't know. I'm not looking.
Like,
at
is
it.
it a fancy kitchen?
Probably wasn't that expensive.
I would be very, because what if she goes to the press if you do a bad job?
Well, you've already gone to the well, yeah, that's true. You must be sending your best boys.
Well, to be fair, we've already got in the back of one of our leaflets that Megan McKenna bought a kitchen from us.
Who the heck is Megan
She's
McKenna?
from Love Island, I think. Google it for me, boy.
Who's
Google
the,
what?
Who's the,
Megan McKenna.
There's a Sterling
I'm on the
person
computer.
on Love Island.
Love Island. That's something that's the algorithm, isn't it? It's Kathleen Kennedy, Love Island, and third thing.
I've sat through Love
Doctor.
Island.
Doctor.
With Jess quite enjoys
You've
it.
probably seen quite a lot of Love Island,
Yeah,
haven't you?
she enjoys it for the
Megan, what was it?
McKenna.
McKenna. I can't spell.
She's
I
one of
heard you
those
spell
like
that.
she's one of those people that like people. Let's put it this way: see if it wasn't us, we would know who it was.
Right. Is it a normal person's
Yes.
celebrity?
No, we were watching Love Island because there's a lassie from Stirling on it.
Yes, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Do you know who won Love Island? Do you-
Megan McKenna.
No.
It was Susan Boyle.
No, it was a
That's
love.
a lovely person called
Danny Dyer. Silent. That says a lot. You know that shrine over there to the man Danny Dyer. You can look him in the eyes.
Are we talking about
Danny Dyer.
Danny Dyer.
Are we-
Danny Dyer won Love Island.
Are we talking about Danny Dyer Senior or Danny Dyer Junior?
Danny Dyer
Danny Dyer
Jr.
Jr.
Like daughter of Danny Dyer, who is literally called Danny Dyer.
Danielle
With
Dyer.
an I imagine. Is that what you go by?
Danielle Dyer.
Daniel. Only Danny Dyer could call his daughter Danny Dyer.
It's incredible.
I nearly died when I heard that. I nearly died.
Is there calendars of Danny Dyer?
Oh, of Danny Dyer Jr. I imagine
There
now
will
that
be
she
next year
now
now
that
she
she's
won
won
Love
Love
Island.
Island, yeah.
I feel like that's really confusing at his house. Like whenever the mum shouts Danny,
Danny.
and it's like which
Well,
one, mum?
The mum's also had her name legally changed to Danny Dyer. It was a
Ah.
part of the marriage ceremony. You'd have to imagine.
Danielle Dyer.
Danielle. Oh, that's great. We'll have to make that sitcom, like a Fist Shark
Danielle.
style, improvisational Danny Dyer sitcom.
We do have to continue the legacy of Fish Shark.
Fist Shark. I know this might be slander or libel. I heard that Dean Cain hates the gays. Like,
I can't tell if you're talking in Fish Shark or not. Because I can believe that either way.
Is she still with the man who was with on Love Island? Is that him?
Oh no.
You watched it.
I didn't watch
stop
that
looking
shit.
up Love Island things on my computer.
You asked me to.
I was just
You
there.
realised-
watched search Megan McKenna.
I didn't realise.
Dean Cain hates the gays.
I don't even know who that is.
The man who has bees in his head.
Oh no.
He does have bees. Dean Cain played Superman in the 90s. You know, in Lois and Clark.
Yeah.
He's that Superman.
He's having a bit of a hard time right now.
I remember that Superman show because when I used to come back from town in the 90s,
Yeah.
the football results would be on.
Mhm.
Like, you know, that show where it was like had the goals come up as text, like.
Manchester United won.
And then, yeah,
Liverpool
that-
nil.
They don't do that
That's
anymore.
number one.
no, they don't do that anymore. There's just it's getting so current. Everyone knows the score.
I only know about
Everyone knows the score, Craig.
I only know.
You've outed yourself there as someone that doesn't follow the football because you know the scores
I only know about Lois
of
and Clark.
all the games.
I only know about Lois and Clark because it was like every advert and every VHS tape I owned.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think. Oh, it was a very 90s thing though, because it was
Plus-
basically like Friends but Superman.
I mean,
Or it looked like Friends. It had that filmy,
did
like
it have
blur.
any? Did it have any sort of like Superman moments in it?
I don't know, but I'm fine with that because like the whole
I
Lois and
remember
Clark
that.
thing is
I
part of.
remember not liking it at all. Like it
Mhm.
wasn't like if you were a kid, it wasn't what you thought like a Superman show
Mhm.
would be in your head. Like it was really boring. And
But
I
as an
remember.
adult, it
I,
felt like
that's
it was
the
a
thing.
Superman
I
show.
remember like wanting Gladiators to come on whenever it was on. I feel like it was on before Gladiators, and I wanted Gladiators to come on.
But yeah, Dean
I-
Cain is talked about a lot in Fish Shark to the point that anything like we could say anything about Dean Cain, and it's probably true because the fantasy and reality have mixed so well
Did
together.
someone just explode in your kitchen?
I think that's the electrics.
Dean Cain currently lives in a church with some dogs that piss on him.
Are we gonna watch a film now?
No, we can never stop. We have to talk about Dean Cain. Dean Cain apparently hates the gays, which
That's a shame.
is a shame.
Oh, that's bad.
I only saw that on Twitter, and I didn't fact check it, so no one take that as fact.
How's
but-
Jeremy
Maybe
Renner
fake
doing though? Is
news.
he still
We
Jeremy-
talked about Jeremy Renner 2 hours ago.
Yeah, but this is Fish Shark Jeremy Renner who fucks skeletons.
He does.
He just covers them. Was it?
Are we past
mayonnaise or
Watershed, by the way? We are past Watershed. This is fine.
something? Oh, right. Jeremy Renner fucks skeletons.
He does. On top of a pole in London.
And Nickelback had a concert where it cost a nickel to get in.
I like
Chad Coker
Nickelback.
just
David.
whispers in your name.
Do you like Nickelback? I like the music of
They're so
Nickelback.
irrelevant. I just don't fucking
Did you hear
care.
the brief, very very brief, cultural phenomenon that was Nickelvana?
No. Was it like a meme or it was a mashup of Nickelback and
Well,
Nirvana?
no, what it was is that Nirvana was making a comeback with Chad Kroger as the singer
Chad.
What the fuck?
at a hairdresser's in Manchester called Nirvana.
Is this real?
I thought
This
it
can't
was.
be-
Is this a
I-
joke? Is this a crack hallucination?
I totally believed it was real for like at least a few minutes.
It does have the ring of something real about it, but I guess that speaks to the times that we live in.
It's-
Better,
Is
better times there.
Oh, that's weird. I don't think of him as having short hair like that.
Is this like the who's that?
That's Chad Kroger, isn't
Is
it?
That's Chad Kroger
gonna
and his
say, is that Kurt
ex-wife
Cobain?
Avril Lavigne.
Of course. I didn't realise they were married. I thought she was married to one of in Sum 41 or
I thought she was married.
Blink
to,
182.
Wait, Avril
Kurt
Lavigne
Cobain.
joins ex Chad Kroger on stage during. Oh god, they're getting back. Oh.
That's some hot
She just-
celebrity gossip there.
She just
Chad
wants to be
Kroger.
a big rock star.
Have you ever heard that urban legend?
Tell me.
That Chad
Avril
Kroger
Lavigne
exists.
died in 2005.
No.
And
That seems like the most
that
cut
Avril Lavigne
price.
since then has been like a replacement.
That seems like a dank meme version of Paul McCartney.
It's really good though because her career did go very bad.
That just happens though.
See, I
People
can-
don't have to die for their career to go to crap.
See,
I don't like
can
what.
believe-
She had one good song after 2005.
What was the one good song?
Girlfriend?
Was that after 2000? Was that post
That was
2005?
like 2007.
I can
Hmm.
believe that.
It was in
But-
Burnout Paradise
Right,
in 2008 because
right.
it was a hot song then.
Oh, really? It was
I
that
can
late?
also believe
Yeah.
that why? Because it's not. You can barely pay for the actress with the amount of money Avril Lavigne must make now.
Avril Lavigne. I just don't care.
Avril Lavigne.
Scare Boy is
something
Avril
or
Lavigne,
me.
isn't it?
What?
Scare Boy.
Do you want to know
Whatever it is, yes, I want
what
to know.
Nickelback's latest album was called?
Is it called Nickelback
Waterback.
by Nickelback?
Feed the Machine.
They're so polite.
And look at the cover. It's like some fucking.
Are they Canadian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it just,
Oh, speaking of shit bands,
Yeah.
have you heard what Muse's latest album?
Hey,
is?
how did I know you were going to talk
Hey.
about Muse there?
No,
I
you-
felt that coming in my bone. I was about to mention Muse.
you behave yourself now. Muse is alright. I like Muse.
Muse sings about drones. It's fine.
Look at the cover.
Yeah.
of Muse.
They're going back to Ready Player One. They're going back to the decade that Ready Player One came
What the
out.
fuck is that?
Is it called Simulation?
Therapy.
Yeah,
But look at that cover. It's fucking.
that looks like a Muse cover. Like
It's, their last album was called Drones.
it was. I heard stuff off drones on Kerrang. It was fine.
Speaking of Muse, I've been listening to an awful lot of my old high school playlist. And
Nice.
I still quite like Franz Ferdinand.
Franz Ferdinand, good. I like Dark of the Matinee. Is that what that one's called?
Yeah,
That was a great
yeah,
song.
Franz Ferdinand.
I have a nostalgia for that because we were learning about World War One when France
Ah,
was
nice,
a popular
nice.
band. So it's
They
like,
timed it just right for you there,
yeah,
didn't
it was
they?
like,
Yeah.
it was like the history teacher going, oh, Gavril Philip killed this guy called Archduke
Franz Ferdinand, and then
I'm
it just
like,
all kicked off.
And then I was like, miss, like the band.
Like the band.
Well, clearly that's
Trust
where
us,
you got their name
Serbian.
from.
Couldn't even kill him the first time round. They had to try several times.
Was it a bomb? Did he throw a
Well,
bomb?
they threw a bomb and it didn't work, and
Mm.
then he got him in like turnaround or something.
Yeah.
Shot him in the head.
That's the past for you. You wouldn't get away with that, then.
Yeah, you got one chance.
Yeah.
I mean,
One opportunity.
it literally started a world war.
Yeah. But you had to keep going.
I mean, it was very much a hold my beer moment.
Hold my beer. Franz Ferdinand, have they put out anything new recently?
I don't know. I don't listen to new
This is
music.
the music section
The
of
newest song I listen to is Big Enough.
Big Enough is really
Oh,
good.
no.
Big Enough is fantastic.
I can't believe I forgot about that song for the longest time.
It lay dormant in your subconscious
Yeah,
though, didn't
and
it?
then I just kind of got triggered at one point about it. And
We have been listening to lots of Steven Universe songs
Hmm.
because a lot of episodes just have bangers in them, and they're very varied and very good. And we'll need to watch Steven Universe.
I'll
After
tell you what I've
this.
listened. I have been listening to the
But
Doom
we need to watch
soundtrack.
Mr. Bean's.
We're gonna watch
Holiday.
Mr. Bean's all. We're gonna watch a lot.
I've been
Like
watching.
parties. Parties are happening.
It's Sunday night.
I know. I
I've
know.
got the work in the
I know. I've been working for 7 days. I'm still going.
Have
I
you
was
got
at
the
work-
work tomorrow?
No.
I was at work the day.
You were at work today.
Ah, you had to sell a kitchen.
You had to fight Susan Boyle today in the
She's
Thunderdome.
really angry. She comes in all coked up, ready to fight, top off. Just like
Top
fucking.
off.
She's like, you walk in, she's like, get your mitts up. And I'm like, oh fuck.
Stop touching the device.
Susan, please. Susan, no.
It's not going to cope with it. Like it's the fact that it hasn't crashed
I'd like to
is a
think-
genuine miracle.
I don't
I was
know.
checking how much how long do we have to do this?
Well, normally when me and Craig do this, we just go until the battery goes.
Yeah, but I've got a secret battery thing that I can just keep going.
Like,
How many
I want
minutes
to
are?
watch a film.
like when we
We're-
did comic chat, we had to split into 2 parts.
The fact this doesn't have to get into parts anymore because this is going out live and then just archives. So
Yeah.
it doesn't take up any storage space.
Yeah, who needs to
Well,
edit?
I was not joking about the podcast Eternal. You're not leaving here. Like, we will survive Brexit in these 4 walls and we will talk until our voices are sore.
Funnily enough, my boss said that yesterday. You're not leaving. So,
Sorry. What? Go on.
yeah, she was like, we're not leaving until we've done 20 grand. I will lock the doors if I
mm.
have to.
What fucking bastards! Actually, I should. We need to not have this conversation.
Yeah, your bosses. See if you get fired because of this podcast. I'm very sorry, but we
That's
can
fine.
get a van at that point, and
Alright.
you know.
Oh, that's
When
fine. I've already
then-
got my post-fire plan ready.
Well, that's good.
If I ever get fired, like Ren will regret it.
I've genuinely. I mean, we've talked about the Susan Boyle.
Don't say
thing.
things in podcasts that can incriminate you.
Yeah.
Ren will regret it.
Ren regret it.
There will be retribution.
There will be violence.
Is there any
Oh, no.
brew?
Oh
There's
no.
well, you might have brew left, but I took all my brew.
Oh no, there doesn't need to be violence. I will just make it very economically unviable for them to deal with my shit.
Mm.
To the point that
That's the
they'll
thing, because like once you're fired, you have all the time in the world.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I'll just make the point to them. I will make the ultimatum even. I will stop if you pay me a lot of money.
See, that seems like extortion,
It
and that
is.
seems like a crime. And you probably shouldn't like broadcast that you're going to do a crime.
No, because whatever it is that causes them to
The
fire me,
secret
I will see it as a crime.
ingredient.
in
The
itself.
secret ingredient is crime.
If they do something that fires me, I will naturally see that as a crime because they fire me for some bullshit thing.
Mm.
So because I've heard of lots of shady firings I've done before. One lassie got fired for bumping into the boss who owns the company. Literally just bumped into them and said sorry. She got sacked.
Yeah, that is pretty rough.
One got sacked for not saying hello back because they never heard him say hello.
Mm. So, do you not just call the tribunal at that point?
No,
Pop
so-
your mirror force and be like, tribunal, son, this is happening.
That's what I'm saying. So if I ever got sacked, I would imagine it'd be for something ridiculous like that. So I would feel that extorting them after that fact is more not only lawful but morally correct.
It might be, not lawfully correct. You probably will be sent to jail for the crime you're about to do, but you might get a moral victory.
That's the
I'll
thing.
give you that.
That's the thing, though. I wouldn't call it extortion. I'd call it settling out of court. So
Mm,
it's not about wording. It's not about marketing.
You
That's
are
true.
aware that if you commit a crime, there's no such thing as settling out of court.
That's the thing, though. What crime am I committing?
The extortion. You just said that you wanted to do a bit of extortion.
I was going to protest very loudly and very effectively.
Mm.
I won't dance
From-
around.
Criminal law has no concept of settling out of court.
Speaking of protests, Anonymous were in town yesterday. They brought back their cube of truth.
The vegans.
The vegans.
Truth cube.
What?
Yeah,
The fuck?
Have you never seen the vegan?
the vegans were here last
the cube?
month, I want to say.
They stand back to back with their laptops.
Anonymous, with the full Guy Fawkes masks, dressed in black, and they stand back to back in a cube formation with a laptop or a phone, and they just broadcast stuff. And it's a silent protest. It's a cube of truth. It's called. They gave me a wee card with that written on it.
How do they do this with it? Like,
No, they've got people walking about that aren't being part of the cube of
what
truth.
are they protesting?
Veganism.
Why are they broadcasting?
It's actually quite effective because I'm now talking about a thing that they did.
I mean, you're talking about it, but do you care about
I
it?
don't care about it, but I'm giving them time. You know, it's cool that they did a thing. It's a very 2008 move of them.
I mean, they're wearing the masks. That's like instantly losing all respect.
Aren't Anonymous terrible nowadays?
I mean, they've always been terrible.
They haven't done anything.
The thing is, Anonymous is such a loose collection of people.
Yeah.
that you can't really say anything about them.
Yeah. The kind of glory days of them doing things was.
When was the
probably-
last time you ever heard of anything happening on 4chan?
Well, doesn't that still happen?
Well, 8chan's now a
It's
thing.
8
Fucking
Or
Christ.
9chan.
9chan.
A lot of these,
I
you have
figured-
to remember that a lot of these exist for the sole purpose of having
Child porn.
child porn.
Oh,
There's
God.
no beating. This is why a lot of the off-chans exist, and
I mean,
we can't talk about them.
they're still fighting Gamergate.
The Long War.
They're still fighting that war.
The Long War.
Ethics in games journalism.
Oh God, can we just end this?
No, it doesn't end. This is the
I mean, we're
podcast
just gonna-
Eternal.
What's going to happen when we end it? We're just going to keep talking anyway.
I
We're
know.
gonna watch a film.
We could release a
I
riff
have-
tracks
I
of us.
I have no interest in watching Bingos and Holiday.
It should though.
And even if we do, we're just going to talk over it.
I imagine our ladies are gonna call us and get them to pick up and go home at some point.
What time is it?
It's 10 bells. We've been going for many hours now.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. We're hot and sweaty. We are perspiring.
I mean, I would honestly say take this on the road. Let's go to Granada.
We could go.
Can we
to
go to Granada?
Yeah, we'll go live to Granada.
But
I really want to go to Granada. We need to do this.
We can go to Granada,
Can we please go to Granada?
Yeah,
but we can't broadcast it because we don't have Wi-Fi all the way
I
to
can
Granada.
broadcast it.
We can totally broadcast it to Granada. Shall we just talk for another hour and then go to Granada?
To be fair-
we need to go to Granada now.
to be fair, it's a wee bit early for Granada.
It is a wee bit early.
Like,
It'll
it's all about midnight Granada.
No, but I'm working. I'm working on it.
Right, David needs to work, so we should probably go to
We should
Granada.
probably go to Granada.
Can we live broadcast to Granada?
I can broadcast this live going to Granada.
Can you do it without the visuals though? That's the question.
Well, we
And
can't.
where can? I suppose you can broadcast on Facebook through one of the groups.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. That's the better way of doing it.
Well,
Well,
that's better than Bean Goes on Holiday.
Bean goes on holiday. Well, thanks for listening.
Thanks for dropping by.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. You get your things together. I'll do a sign off.
You know,
what
the
I'll do.
only person that's ever going to listen to that is me, you, and probably Andy.
Oh yeah, I wonder maybe he's working. I think he does night shifts. So
Yeah, but we started before night shift time.
I suppose that's true. He has no
That
excuse.
bastard.
What even number is this? It's like 3 digits and then the second.
171 minutes.
Yeah.
That is about 2.5 hours.
I was hoping to get to 3. I really was.
That is prime content. Like, what podcast? You
Hi,
for
we're
2.5 hours?
live.
Oh wow, it's a double cast.
We're
Hello.
live.
We're going to
casting.
Granada.
We're going to Granada.
Operation Grenades.
I'm ready. Let's go. I'm
Operation
going.
Graternal Grenades. Before we go, I've got to actually end this podcast. Dave, you're live in one of the groups. Yes, this has been a very professional evening.
This is like when BBC One has to go.
They have to go to BBC Two, yeah.
Andy Murray's 2 sets down. It's looking bad.
Thank you for joining us.
Oh, I'm 100% back now.
This has been very special. I know a lot of people have been dropping in and then immediately dropping out, and I do not blame you. Tomorrow evening, I'm going to talk about Transformers. I promise. We love you.
We did talk about Transformers.
We did. We had like a solid 20 minutes on Transformers.
Mostly just complain how bad the films are.
They are bad. My point was to say how bad they were and then segue into maybe Bumblebee will be fine. But
We had no interest in them.
we had no interest. But you humoured me. You definitely humoured me, and that is what friends do. Anyway, bye. See you tomorrow.
Tomorrow will be a much more standard podcast.
Yeah, it's still going, by the way. The button didn't want to be pressed.